There we go.
Yeah, okay, good. Now, hopefully everybody can hear us. A little bit of trouble getting stuff started. Alright. Welcome to Odin's Eye Gaming. I'm the DM, and these are my friends, starting with
Westfield, playing as Rin, the Satyr Rogue.
Paradox! And I'm Paradox. I have dice. I am playing Percy, the Tiefling Sorcerer.
And Texas Tibbers, I'm playing Astra, the Druid.
And yes. And so now we're going to resume where we left off, which was you guys went to the Emerald Enclave into the Southern Ward, where you met Jareth, the demigod, and her servant, Felbron, who put you on a quest to help out the Undercliff district with reported sightings and attacks of scarecrows. So you guys chased them down and started getting into some of the devious behavior, where you eventually traced it to a cow farmer who was doing something with the occult. Turns out his wife was one of the said scarecrows. You guys had a little bit of a tussle, and I think that leaves us with where we're at presently. Anything I missed?
Yeah, we had just finished, well, the farmer, the potentially evil, sort of misguided farmer who just loved his dead wife, got murdered by the skeletal version of her undead corpse. And we finished off the bad guys in his farmhouse, and now we're standing around with a bunch of dead scarecrows.
So, yeah, just as a short recap, we're in a small little farmhouse. There is a triangle that has this blackish tar that you also resemble, or know that comes from the scarecrows when you guys were wounding them. That has been scraped by a dagger from Rin. And furthermore, the husband is dead in there, the farmer. And currently, Prometheus is still out and about.
Yes. Also need Prometheus.
You need Prometheus?
Yeah, be okay.
I set my dice bag down somewhere, and somebody's taken it.
Not me. I have my own dice.
Suspicion arises. You got a little dice bag that you took from you and put it over there.
Ah, yes.
Got a stick in my bird in my bush.
The worst kind of thief, yourself.
Okay.
Well, what's the plan now? Guess we report back to the Emerald Enclave?
You know, yeah, I mean, or...
We should let the old head farmer guy that we talked to know about the situation.
He had offered us a reward as well, I believe.
Big
Said he
farmer?
was collecting a tithe from the local farmers.
Pig farmer?
I believe he was a chicken farmer.
Yeah, chicken.
His name was Ruth. He has Ruth, sir.
He has root.
Right. The Ruth with the Ruth.
I don't think that I can do a southern accent and lisp at the same time. Sorry, he has root. No, dang it. I'll work on that for the next one.
I don't know if you should. Please actually just don't work on that.
I think they just call them different things instead of struggle busing. They just change it to like cluck clucks and such.
Alright.
I will take an object from the room that is like a cloth of sorts or leather and scoop up some of the
Tar?
tar
Okay,
and put it into my bag.
Not the remains of the dead farmer. That's good, that's good. We've upgraded from taking the remains of the intellect devourer in your backpack to just some spooky tar.
Yeah, average Joe and intellect devourer, same thing. They're same thing.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. So cool.
I hadn't heard it swell.
Can I do that successfully?
You find that as you're scraping it, most of the tar is boiling away.
I do my best.
You get extremely trace amounts of residue.
I'm happy with that.
Okay.
I do a quick search of this guy's house. I'm kind of looking for any like scroll or book or way that he figured out how to do this ritual.
You're in investigation.
Ooh, can I take the candles?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's quite late at night, right? Because we were sitting
Yes.
around in the
So we just sleep in his bed where his dead wife was.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
How long did it take to
4.
Yikes.
I think your lack of finding something leaves you in a peculiar state. You don't find anything, but you feel like farmers don't really do well practicing the occult.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Oh wait, you found something strange. There's dead scarecrows here.
What the hell?
Wait,
And a dead man.
Where did these dead scarecrows come from?
Who puts a pumpkin on a scarecrow head? No,
And
that just ain't right.
Primordial fire spirit that seems to stand in the fireplace a lot. It seems to be cooing.
You know, you actually have a really good point. Who puts a pumpkin head on? Because that thing's gonna rot and like attract the birds that it's trying to scare away. That doesn't seem very practical. In hindsight.
Very impractical.
Failed the refrigerator test. Yeah, how...
I will allow you to elicit the help of some of your companions.
I would do that
Your
for
vote,
sure.
Yes.
I'd be like, let me know if any of you guys find anything, because I don't think that the farmer himself just made this.
That one over there is definitely... She's scooping up all this tar and stuff and snooping around, I'm
And
sure.
getting the candles and rolling a 12. Pretty.
Brings you to a what on investigation?
12.
I think am I the only one with positive intelligence?
Hey! I'm
I
positive.
resemble that thing.
Stay positive, summoner.
Okay, yes. So you find a trapdoor in the confines of the fireplace.
Makes sense. Prometheus.
You were checking out Prometheus.
Covered in soot, playing with Prometheus.
He is mostly taking the shape of like this amorphous blobish type thing. It tends to like get very viscous though, and it like zoops around and is just like enveloping the sims of the fireplace here. But it's like a solid approach over the flue of the chimney, and so it just looks like almost a reddish box.
Yeah.
And then like a drooping little arrow points down to the trapdoor that clues you in on.
He's so smart. He's smarter than me.
Jenny has a bone.
How did Jenny get a bone? How is that possible?
So,
The bones are barricaded.
hey,
Trade embargo.
Ren,
Oops. Making it better.
I ping on the door. Ren, ding! There's a door here.
Yes.
There's a door here. Do you hear it?
It's true. Is it openable?
So it's only perceptible by the fact that there's a very small crease and almost a box-like nature. You got several pieces of like the remnants of the last fireplace on it, and the actual stand for logs itself placed on it. You don't see any like way to get to it with like hand grabby things. You would need some kind of device to help slip under and open it or pry it.
This is where those hand suction cups I have really come in handy.
Question. Prometheus. I mean, he's fire. Can fire elementals slip under things and then expand? Like, how does that work?
What about a crowbar?
I mean, yeah, or we could just use like
Oh, crowbar.
any of our many adventuring
Prometheus
tools.
is currently like trying to become as thin as possible to squeeze down onto the cracks of this thing, and he mostly just resorts into filling it up, and you see now that the red ring is, or the box is now just a red ring around this thing. He's not able to squish under it.
Okay, let me check my backpack.
Backpack.
Anyone got any kittens? I mean, dagger seems like a good enough use case, that's gotta be sharp and pointy. Stick the dagger in the crack and hammer on it till.
Actually, I look for a fire poker. Like, I look for something that he would use to pop it open.
Okay.
He's gotta have
Presumably, yeah, if he gets
Investigation
into
check. Quickly note that the fire utensils next to the fireplace don't seem to be able to get into this crack. But now you're looking around his house for a way to get in.
Ooh.
She is, that's what she does. Give me an investigation check, and you were trying to use a dagger to pry it.
Yes.
Okay. What dagger are you using? Just standard dagger?
Yeah, I've got 2 like standard daggers.
I got a 4. I also start to cast Detect Magic. Virtually.
Okay. So you hear chanting of Detect Magic in the background. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check here. I'm so sorry.
I don't know why it always plays as the I want to ride my bicycle in my head, but that's magic.
Can I add my proficiency bonus to this or no?
Nope.
Okay, then it would be a 20.
Okay. You get it pried in there and you start working it underneath. And almost in your moment of triumph, when you start feeling like you're able to maybe get your fingernails start grasping on it, you realize 1, it's super heavy, and 2, the thing shifts and the handle to your dagger snaps off.
Okay, so
You just hear
not
just, like-
openable that way.
Yeah, you hear like this gravelly sound as it like starts scraping, and then almost as if something was pulling down heavily on it against you. It just you can see a slight bend to your dagger.
Wait, she have another weapon?
It's literally like magic. And Jenny's like, another bone, please.
Okay.
Where's your bag of holding, Jenny? I need to know.
It's her cheek. Okay. So there's something that is like weighing down this trapdoor from the inside that makes it too heavy to lift. Find your tool. I've already looked around the outside trying to find another way in the ground and never found it. And it's a stone slab in the fireplace, right?
It is. Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Number 9 and an 8.
Okay, you can basically tell that it is not made of the same material that the rest of the firebox is made out of. It is almost, I'd say almost imperceptible. It wasn't a great roll. But with casual glancing at it, you would not think that it's any different. But it is definitely different. You don't get any more than that. So.
How about I just pry open the floorboards next to the fireplace instead?
We can just set a gadget down, and then it'll the wall.
Yeah. This is Rainbow Six Siege now.
Also, a question on Mage Hand. Would I be able to cast Mage Hand on the other side of the door and like have it try to lift?
Don't you have to be able to see where you cast it?
It says a hand appears at a point you choose within range.
You have to be able to see that point.
Okay.
So I have the same thing here where it says one target you can see or a space that you can see.
Right.
But yeah, what about prying open the floorboards next to the fireplace?
Go ahead and give me a strength check. What are you using to pry it open?
Do you have that? Did anyone find a crowbar in their inventory?
I do not have a crowbar.
Don't have a crowbar. What I do have is a particular set of skills that do not involve crowbars.
I got some like hooves stuff.
So, yeah. Let me. I'm still looking.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and like stomp a crack into the floorboards and then like use my.
Going to stomp a crack?
Yeah.
You're attempting to break the floor.
No, break the floorboard and then pull it up. Use my physical body.
Okay, you can give me a strength check.
I will give you guidance if that is able.
Can Prometheus assist him?
Sorry, it's not that you can't, you have to see the point, you have to have a clear path to it. You do not have a clear path to the target.
22.
22. Okay. You stomp on it. You warp the wood ever so slightly before it springs back into place.
Ooh.
Like magically springs back into place?
Just wood.
So it's just like, you almost do it, and then it's just not enough?
I go outside. Does he have like an axe or anything outside?
Yes. You would easily find an axe.
I get an axe and I bring it back in to assist in the process.
There's wood behind the fireplace. I tell Prometheus to light that shit on fire.
So,
Like the
Just exist in max power in its space.
in the fireplace?
Yeah, or on next to the door, on the door itself.
Okay. You guys have probably already cleared that out, right? To get to the trapdoor itself, because the fire grate itself that was holding the wood.
Yeah,
but the
trapdoor itself will be immune to fire.
but isn't wood.
No, the trapdoor is not wood.
That's what
Oh.
we're saying. The fireplace is like a stone fireplace. And there's something about the trapdoor
Well,
itself
what
that is
was-
made out of a different type of stone. But it's like flush with the base of the fireplace. Did Brian
Alright.
find an axe?
Yeah, he found an axe. There's an axe set up next to the house in a small pile of wood.
I
How small is the crack?
pass you the axe because I'm pretty sure you're
Sure, I
better
start
at this, and I
hacking
give you
away
guidance
at
again.
boards.
Make a strength check with advantage.
Uh, 7.
Okay, you find that the axe isn't as sharp as it could be. However, you start making your way through it. It's going to take a bit, but you start hacking up pieces of this. Once you hack enough of it, about after 5 minutes or so, you're able to get under it and start prying it. Pretty annoying, but eventually nails start wrenching free, and you notice that there is a fort base to the house in which it was built. It is about 6 inches down, and you see a loose covering of dirt.
Okay. Wait, can you describe it?
Yeah, you found a crawl
Details?
space of about 6 inches underneath the house of which it was sitting on. And in the particular section that you're chopping, there is nothing except what you perceive as dirt that is easily moved.
Okay. I'm gonna go into put my body down into the hole into the crawl space, like partially,
Okay?
like look a bit around in there.
Alright, you can see that there's cobwebs and various other creepy crawlies that are down there. The dirt seems to be pretty loose over about a 5-foot square around you, and then the rest of the house tends to just be completely filled. It's not a crawl space. So for
I don't
whatever reason,
find
this is
anything
like,
in there,
well, for whatever reason, this section is a vacuum.
though? I don't understand.
Dirt everywhere else except for the 5-foot section that you're in.
Yeah, but I don't find anything in there.
Not in the crawl space itself, no.
Okay.
But you can,
Is there more? Is there another? Is it ground underneath him, or is
it's
it?
loose dirt.
I use Mage Hand to clear the dirt away
Okay.
underneath him.
It starts shifting the dirt aside, and you can see that there's another material besides dirt below it. Lighting? Is there torches in here?
Yeah, we have Prometheus as well as like
Prometheus is not a light source.
was trying to light up the fireplace, right? But also we have multiple torches.
I lighted another torch.
Alright, you see a much darker wood that doesn't seem to be like in planks, but just as the hand keeps sweeping a path, it just seems to be a contiguous kind of board.
Obsidian.
Okay.
Prometheus.
If we don't
doesn't
see
say.
anything else about it, then I guess we need to try and hack through this wood also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you tell Are you relaying what you're seeing as you're seeing it?
Yeah.
She gets her she goes down there.
Okay. Also, you notice by this time that Prometheus is nowhere to be seen. You have a way to communicate with him telepathically?
Yeah, he only moves if I tell him to. He isn't a free acting being. Like Rox is free acting, but Prometheus isn't. But he's nowhere to be seen.
Yep.
I do have a way of talking to him, I think. Let me just make sure. Alright. Friendly to you and your companions. Lasts for 1 hour. My wild shape. You expend one of these. Not seeing it here. But I assume that I can communicate. Languages, understands the languages you speak.
Okay.
So, yeah, I insta-talk to him if I want to.
If you had to see to use your second capability, right?
Figure it out.
Basically, he can understand if he can. Present.
Mm-hmm. He's a fully thinking being.
I guess in the meantime, while she's looking for, start trying to get through the split.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to be able to see.
Okay. So, auditorily, you can call out, right?
Okay, I notice that he's missing, so I do so.
Yep. He does not respond to you, as would be evident, and you start chopping through this much thicker blanket.
Also, does my detect magic ever go off?
Yes, your detect magic does go off. You can detect magic, like, in a 10-foot kind of circle below you. Only really visible through the floorboard space.
Do I detect Prometheus?
He's primordial. I don't know if you detect him.
He's a magical ability, right?
Yeah. Summon wildfire.
Also,
He's my druid.
what type
Circle.
of magic is the space below?
It is transmutation.
Okay.
What kind of wood is it?
Robert didn't tell us.
Is a darker wood than the other stuff around.
Birch?
No.
Maple?
Birch is
Mahogany.
Pine?
chocolate wood.
These aren't
I
mine.
hacked through the chocolates, and as I hacked
These
through
are
them, I
yours.
found pieces.
You eat wood. Okay. As it opens up, you can, as the chips and pieces of it start flying off, you realize that the chips themselves are magical. As there seems to be a transmutation cast upon them. As things continue, you eventually open up this section below you, and it is magically dark. You cannot see through.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever experienced anything like that before.
Start now?
Yeah, probably wouldn't have. Is it like if I could like even put stuff in it, I can see that stuff just like from it. I call out to Astra. Hey Astra, can you help me with this?
I do not know where Prometheus is.
Can you call him back to you?
I can dispel him. And then
Have you tried calling him back?
he does not answer.
Through the hole that Ren is opening, you can see like the blob just come through and start floating up into the air from beneath you. Prometheus was down there.
I don't see that. Do you see that?
I think I found him.
Yeah, like you're face to face with this darkness, and then you just see like this red paleness start emanating from the darkness.
I jump down.
I don't think like so. Imagine the situation, right? Like, we have this room, right? And I've hacked open a hole into the floorboards
Into the
and
Underdark.
that I can barely fit the top half of my body down into, and I'm hanging down into this area with an axe down there trying to hack into the next section. I set the axe aside because there's now a hole big enough to see, like, through, and I'm basically filling up this whole space, and out of the darkness comes Prometheus, is like, hello, Prometheus.
I ask him, right, try to take a gander at him immediately. I'm like, what is in there? What did you see? Why did you disappear? Where did you go?
He starts to take on a more humanoid kind of form.
You better be manly as fuck. Prometheus is manly as
Can you
hell.
talk?
Yeah. I mean, how else am I supposed to communicate with him?
Could you communicate with him telepathically? He can
Yeah.
respond.
Also, you said he speaks
Any
Any
language
language
that I
you
speak.
right?
So I
I
could
think he
speak to him.
understands.
I think you said he understands.
No, he understands language, but I would speak to him through his mind, and he can speak back, right?
Yes.
And then he would speak back in whatever language I want, which is common.
Mm-hmm.
primordial.
Okay, he speaks back in primordial. Do you speak primordial?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, then you understand him.
Okay.
You hear flames crackling. You get the sensation that one, the flames were sucked down a hole against its will. And then you get a sense of flames spurting out beneath you and covering over various objects that he can't quite make out what they are. But there are things down there. They do not seem to be moving.
Okay, how does fairy fire work?
Not in this situation.
It doesn't work
It would-
over
it would-
magical darkness?
It does not.
Basically need a more powerful light than magic is dark.
Mm.
Wait, doesn't... What sights does Prometheus have?
Dark vision.
Okay.
Wait, unless you're looking for something else. Then he has it.
Oh.
Oh, he has whatever you were looking for. Move on, move on.
He has blindness.
Let me see. Yeah, dark vision, passive perception of 12.
Okay.
Immunities to fire, charmed, frightened, grappled, prone, restrained.
Well, I don't think we have any way of dispelling this magic or seeing through it at our disposal. So we probably need to involve someone with more skills than we have, which we can do when we either talk to the Emerald Enclave or probably actually just that.
Mm-hmm.
Rin, why wouldn't we just go down there?
Because we cannot see.
There's plenty of things we crawled into that we couldn't see out of.
We're more than welcome to. I wouldn't suggest it though.
I take my hempen rope out and I tie it around my body.
Okay.
And then I give it to Rin.
Okay.
I'll anchor here. You go down.
I tie it to a piece of the fireplace. Well,
There's nothing that jets out.
I tie it to something in
The
this
bed.
house. Whether it's a door or a bed
Okay.
or
Yourself?
the window or whatever is heavy, sturdy, and tieable that I can use as a backup anchor.
Okay. You have done so.
I say, come on, Prometheus. Let's go down in this hole.
Oof.
Because I prep him that if anything goes bad, he will teleport me back to...
You've already used your teleport.
Oh. Recharges after a short rest. I take a short rest before I do this fucking plan.
He will disappear. He only lasts forever.
I'll recast that motherfucker.
You can recast him even currently and it would recharge his ability.
Alright, let's do that.
Okay.
Do we think that's worth it?
This is all you, bud. I think I feel somewhat. I think the plan should be.
You said...
You also have to see where you're being cast to.
Yeah, so the thing is, if we get cast in, or if we go in,
Mm-hmm.
and he needs to cast out, we wouldn't be able to see it?
Magical darkness.
Yikes. Prometheus, you're so smart. Ah.
Yeah, he just looks at you and goes. Oh wait, that was rocks in the background. Just he's alone.
Okay, alright. I don't do it.
Okay, you don't want to go?
No, because it's not a good plan. Prometheus said it wasn't a good plan. You didn't understand him?
Okay.
Seems fair. It's a shame to leave whatever that is doing whatever it is, but we don't have many options. Let's head back. Maybe find a place to rest.
You just want to toss a fireball in there?
I don't have any of those.
I have something that I want to do before we leave. I'd like to try and dig a grave for a dead farm. And a shovel on it.
Okay. That is mostly just an exercise of time.
Prometheus, help him.
He stands and points.
He's capable of action, right? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a
action
0
if you want to.
strength.
Anyone can take the help action.
He's there just like... Cool. I don't help because I'm negative.
Right. He just keeps me warm. It's cold at night. Hard work. The dark.
Okay. Nighttime passes of some duration, probably about a half an hour to an hour, and you get what seems to be a passable grave site.
I do the grave thing. I bury him.
I help you.
Do like a small funeral rites, generic, like whatever the generic common folk of this land.
And then you put coins. And then you do salts. And then you dance over it.
Wait.
I'm sure there is a
And then you do one of
burial
these?
ritual that I could
Yes, I'm gonna.
go. Whatever that is.
I do all of these. Do you stop me? I do like 7 different religion
I don't
burials.
stop you from doing anything.
Okay.
You are free to do as you.
Do you do
Everyone treats
anything
it differently.
with the white streaming?
I bury them with him.
Okay. Where did you put those candles? Like in your backpack?
Yeah, in my backpack.
Okay. About halfway through the actual burial rites, you start feeling like a very cold sensation emanating from your backpack. Like somebody just shoved an ice pack in there. It's almost like touching your skin. It's that cold.
Are you pranking me?
No, ma'am. I
Feel
wouldn't
this.
dare. That is very cold. What do you have in there?
Candles.
Candles aren't cold. Maybe we should check those.
I open it up to look at them.
Okay, you open up and you see like almost like a think like a frozen lake that's got a thin layer of ice and something's hit it and it's just cracked. Kind of get that, but a frosty feeling over the entire length of all 3 of the candles.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
You can see that the wicks themselves are not coated in this frost.
Do you reckon we should destroy those?
No, they're just candles.
They don't look like just candles to me.
They're probably special candles for like a ritual or something. I
Right.
figured we could do one later or something.
Probably not doing any skeleton
I've
summoning
never
rituals.
done one before.
We'll find you a nice ritual to do that's not detect magic or summon in a giant scarecrow to kill us all.
What if they're just dying out because you're doing the burying and the magic's leaving? It's fine.
Well, I don't think we're going to find out by sitting around and waiting.
Yeah, let's just
We
go.
should head back.
You guys have been traveling all day.
Wow.
And it is like well past midnight. You plan on traveling back this night.
I think that
You want to go back in the house and set up camp?
I'd much rather sleep in one of the barns near the cows.
We can do that too. There was an empty barn, I think, the first one on the row. We can call it there for the night.
Yeah.
Probably prefer one with cows in it, but
I don't think you do. They're pretty noisy.
well, that's
They sound
probably
like
a good thing.
moo, moo, moo.
Distant.
moo.
No.
I don't
Okay,
think
maybe
the
we
noise
go.
would bother Rin so much, and having other animals there as watch
Also,
would be a good thing.
they kind of don't like people. They're kind of scared of people. We would be bothering them. They were really panicked. I'm not sure that we would rest well. I would rest well. I would say moo, moo.
I don't think I changed my mind about the situation.
Percy,
Yes, ma'am.
I agree with Ren. I would like to go hang out with the cows.
Sure, we can sleep in there. Seems fine. Yeah. Go into the barn, set up the sleeping setup, bedroll and whatnot.
Okay. You get the smells of a barn, and you get the sounds of a barn. You also get the comfort of a barn shelter over your head, for what it's worth.
Call it a night.
I do have to tell you something.
What was that?
When I looked into that hole, pulled a card. It's the broken one. I don't know if that's supposed to mean the farmer, or if there's someone else, or something else. Or is it me? I don't know. It's kind of got me a weird feeling.
Not a whole lot that isn't broken about this situation.
That's for sure.
Also, it's kind of cracked like the candles on the card itself. I don't know.
I'm sure whatever it is, we can deal with it in the morning. Might just be that you need to avoid tight, dark spaces for a little bit.
Yeah. Wait, why was it a tight dark space? It kind of looked like a big space.
Well, it might have been.
What do you mean it might have been?
It was just a hole. We didn't know how big it was inside.
Never mind. By the way, I want to speak with animals. I want to speak with animals. I want to speak with animals for 10 minutes.
I do my best to fall asleep during her ritual.
At some point we fall asleep tonight, I assume.
Yes. You have spoken with the animals. What are you speaking to them about?
Good night.
One of them is just like, it lays down, moves once.
Oh. Good night, Wagyu. I know you're here somewhere.
Everybody knows the cows are nocturnal animals.
Oh god. No.
Fat cow.
Any watch me kept other than the cows?
I'll stay up about 30 minutes to an hour later than everybody else, and then sleep in 30 minutes to an hour afterwards.
That
Okay.
is how that works.
Then you guys sleep through the night. The cows do not wake you.
That's because they are good
Long
cows.
rest.
Long rest.
Long rest, long rest.
There's just a button for that.
Mm-hmm.
Take a long rest. Oh, done. Easy. Okay.
Finishing the long rest, I used my I do my morning mage armor and use my sorcery points to recover my spell slot.
Okay. In the morning, you notice, like, when you go to retrieve your pack, that there is like a damp spot on the outside.
Melted ice candles. I think we make our way back towards the chicken farmer
Yep.
and talk to Ruth and find out, or tell him what happened.
That is the plan.
I look at my pack. Is there anything?
Candles are gone.
What to do with them?
I'm sorry.
Candles.
I didn't do anything with your candles.
Oh, they're gone.
It looks like they might have melted. Judging by the hay in the area.
Yeah, Einstein. I really want Einstein to be a guy from our village when we were kids.
Oh yeah.
Some like random kid who was just kind of nerdy and smart.
I do one last check of inside the house now that it's day and the candles have melted.
Okay.
I check to see if that magical darkness is still there.
It is not.
Okay, I holler out to them and tell them magical darkness is no longer there.
No, I have no interest in a small hole.
Is there anything in there?
I don't know, let me check.
You realize that it's a 10-foot drop, and other than that, you can see like a desk that is covered in dust and some books. You also see several of the other candles arranged in a triangle.
I hop down there and cast guidance on myself while I search the room for anything.
Okay. What languages do you speak / can understand and read?
I speak Common and Infernal.
Okay. The book is written in a language you do not understand.
Okay.
That seems to be the only notable contents in this room other than the candles.
I collect the book as well as the candles.
Okay. The candles seem stuck to the floor.
I try really hard to collect the candles.
Give me a strength check.
Candles supernaturally hardened or something? It causes them
How
to
about a
crack.
19?
Okay, you have extricated a candle from the floor.
Okay. I call that good, and I make my way back up, or attempt to.
Present for me.
Probably hollering for someone to toss me a rope.
Yeah.
Let's shut up then.
You also notice in the room that there is the underside of the fireplace over there. There seems to be nothing like physically notable about it. If you were to push on the mantelpiece, it does not give.
Okay. Make my way back up. I toss Astra the candle that I ripped off the floor. I'm like, either you guys able to read this? I have some answers for us.
I assume
No.
not.
Your slim
Cast and ritual.
your slim flipping
You
through it, by
asked
the way,
me to
Ryan,
read it!
reveals what you would think to be a map, just from what you can deduce from it.
Okay. I
I
have them check to see if they can read.
I speak.
Yawn.
I speak
With
that too.
animals.
I speak Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Sylvan, and Thieves' Cant.
Common, Druidic, Primordial, Quarry, and Sylvan.
Right? It is in Elvish. You find that you're able to understand the contents of this book.
Okay.
Damn it.
Well, there you go.
You can understand the contents of this book in the
Wait,
sense.
Elvish and Sylvan are the same.
No.
There.
How are they-
Elvish is a derivative of Sylvan, but they're not the same language. It's kind of like Roman and English.
But I can read Roman numerals. So there's
Yes.
something in that book that I can
You
read.
read really old dialects of.
I attempt.
The Sylvan is more the language of the Fae and the Feywild
Yeah.
than it is the Fey courts and all that. Than it is modern.
Okay. You
Give
get.
them those
This
stuff.
is mostly a kind of babbling journal, especially for the first few chapters, that have almost no perceivable difference just from your skimming. It would take you several hours to go through the book. It's about 100 pages with small cramped writing, and it gets chaotic in some places. Like, it was not very well written in. Skipping around, you can see what seems to be just random words strung together in certain pages. They're kind of like boxed in and like are bolded and big exclamation points put around it, but when you look at the words, they don't make sense. They don't form any kind of coherent thought.
Say.
I don't know. I can read it, but it doesn't make any sense. It's not like someone who didn't speak the language but knew the words.
Just tell me a few words.
Say a few words in Elvish.
I repeat those back with gestures.
It's probably like the word like book and fish.
Look, fish stares at Candle.
We should take this back to the Enclave.
I think so.
They'll know what to
The
do
less
with all of this, I'm sure.
random people casting dark rituals, the better, I think. For all of us.
How the farmer could have read this, I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
Anybody can cast magic.
Not true.
If
Not
they
true.
try hard
Squirrel
enough.
comes out of a nearby tree and just shakes its head at you. No.
Oh, Rocks, get over it.
Rox wishes that Rox could
Rox is sitting there
cast
practicing
magic.
casting fireball and it's not working.
That's okay. It's not
Anybody
working
can.
when you guys are trying to cast fireball either.
Kamehameha! Why doesn't it work? No, for real, anybody can do it. Why not?
I don't understand what you mean.
Why can't you cast magic?
Well, if I knew the answer to that, then maybe there wouldn't be a problem.
Have you tried?
More than most, probably.
Well, Percy can cast magic.
I think it's possible to learn, but it is a process.
Yeah, anybody can learn. Including you, Ren.
Potentially.
I don't know if that's true, but in any case, I'm not going to learn now.
We have a candle and a
casting.
book.
I'm making a strict group policy. No casting of dark rituals.
No turning yourself into a lich in this campaign. It's not allowed.
In your perusing, now that she's kind of like mentioned the candle in the book, some of the jargon and like an image just kind of like comes to you in the sense of like, oh, that was what the image was. You saw a completely like warped picture of a candle and it was lit.
Okay. I don't do anything with that information and continue on with the plan.
Yes.
We've been trying to continue on with.
Let's get out of here. We go
Put
to
candle in bag.
Okay.
Is there anything in the wife's?
Not me.
Excuse me, Siri. I didn't ask for you. I asked for anything of the wife's.
Do you
Like
call Siri your wife?
So anything otherwise what?
Like a locket or a hairbrush or a mirror.
I mean, there were a few just of her personal belongings in the house, yeah.
Like what?
She had like a wooden comb.
I took that and I put it in my bag.
Okay.
How many remnants of strands of her hair interwoven in the comb?
She kept it clean. But I suppose if you were to get out a microscope, maybe you could find microscopic strands of hair follicles and
Okay,
dandruff.
that's in my adventures pack.
A microscope for the science.
Yeah, you know, it's weird. My disguise kit comes with a DNA sequencer, so.
Kick up this campaign here. Okay. Yeah, we continue back to the chicken farmer.
Okay. About halfway there, it's like an hour walk or so, 2 hours, something like that. I forget how much time we distinctly said, but that's okay. Early morning. Your backpack goes cold again.
No. We have to hurry. We have to go find like somewhere to store it where it's cold, stays good. We gotta get there.
We're walking as fast as we can.
Are we?
I mean, for the most
Are we
part,
taking the
yes.
dash action?
We've got a long distance to travel.
That based on the time frame, it existed as a candle for at least an hour before you fell asleep, and then at some point in your 8 hours of sleep, it went completely melt. You don't know when during that 8 hours.
Okay.
Well,
you
make
do
sure.
know that that's probably more than enough. Sorry,
More than
not
enough
time to
time
get
to
back to
make
the
good
Emerald
choice.
Conclave. Space on. But you do make it back to Ruth.
Yes.
The thing that you guys notice the most upon entering near his farm is the smell of like an iron, kind of acrid, like blood, kind of in the air.
I don't like that smell.
He's chopping chickens. There's probably always smells like blood at chicken farm.
Right. Hopefully,
Didn't
they
yesterday.
approach.
You approach the hut and you hear it sounds like sobbing coming from inside.
There's no chicken sounds?
You do not hear chickens.
Oh no!
Oh,
Some
no.
fox got in and attacked all the chickens.
He killed all of his chickens.
He turned into an evil specter and chopped the heads off of all of his chickens.
Yeah,
and
that
knock on
could-
the front door.
You
The
hear
end of speculation.
like a start, and then you just hear a very timid. Who is it?
Ruth, are you in there? Is everything all right?
Oh, one moment. You hear very sad footsteps cross his short little cabinet, and he like
What is
opens
that?
his door.
Are you saying like dragging footsteps?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's worse.
Neighbors.
Oh my god. I thought that was a ghost in our house.
And he opens the door. You can see that he's just bags under his eyes. His eyes are bloodshot. He's definitely been crying. Doesn't look like he slept. And you can quickly see that covering his hands and some parts of his clothing that there's dried blood on it.
What on earth happened?
One of those scarecrows came in the night, slaughtered all of my life. All of my chickens.
That's very not good. We were just arriving with the news that we had solved the problem as of last night. Was it a scarecrow with a pumpkin on its head?
Yes.
Okay.
And,
It showed up where we were right after,
well, there are more.
ideally. That's not the one that I wanted to hear. But that does make sense, I suppose. We went to Farmer John's and
Roscoe.
Farmer Roscoe and found that he was practicing some magic in his spare time, trying to resurrect his wife, presumably. You know how those things go, and
I don't know magic. Not everybody can learn magic.
he sacrificed her, or he tried to resurrect her, or she made a dark pact. Whatever it was that happened, she was a skeleton, and he was just a man. And then she attacked us, and one of the scarecrows attacked us, and she killed Roscoe.
What? Roscoe's dead?
Unfortunately, yeah, we couldn't get there in time. But outside of that, we broke apart 2 ritual circles that were in his abode.
I'd like to do an insight check.
Okay. You may make an insight check. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for happiness or sadness at the news of Roscoe's death.
Does this man joy at the sound of his neighbor slash rival? I don't know how farming works.
I don't know how farming works. My rival!
The person who sells cows and not chickens. I hated him.
I mean,
You know
maybe
this
we
year
could
chickens
land
will be the
space.
best.
Have
I
you
don't
been
know.
to Chick-fil-A?
You might say that they have beef. between
Exactly.
them.
Rivalry.
You know what I mean?
Okay, make an insight check.
Oh, God.
This one's gonna be the roll that you roll.
Yeah.
This is the thing that you are good at.
But today is just a,
It was one of those days. It's been a little low all day.
9!
Beans?
Two
No.
The dude is pretty torn up about just life in general right now. All of his livelihood has been slaughtered.
Oh, come on. I mean, you just sell it. Like, get over.
No.
Yeah, we just pre-harvested the chickens. They were ripe, and someone
all
just
the
did the job for
hundreds
us.
and hundreds of eggs that they would provide.
Yeah.
For years on end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, none of them are kosher. Presumably, unless it was
This
really
only
considering
happened-
Scarecrow.
I at some point want to have leaned over to Percy and whispered so that the farmer does not hear me
Uh-huh.
and say, this only happened because he wouldn't let me feed his chickens.
I don't think
That's-
that's necessarily true.
It's funny though.
One of the most insensitive things I can think of to say at this moment. Yeah.
It's funny.
The farmer looks. What was that?
Nothing.
Oh, he just kind of
Oof. Regardless, to the best of our knowledge, I believe the problem is resolved now. Unless there are other people who would potentially be practicing currently.
the kettle's gone.
Practicing dark magic and sacrificing their lives.
Reaches in the pack, pulls
Is
out
anyone
damn
else-
hand. Huh?
Anyone else around here have a dead family members they may want to resurrect?
No.
Like, where's your wife, Ruth?
Back to the cow.
Nah.
I was married to nothing but my chickens.
Was there anything that was happening around the Roscoe farm? Was there anyone that visited him, or the book that we found was written in Elvish? Was there any strangers coming through?
The first time I've been visited, so maybe you've heard of this before, but the only thing I noticed was just a darkness. I couldn't. Normally, you can see out over the fields a bit. I couldn't see my chicken coop from my back porch. And then when sound started
Sound.
of my chickens dying,
Ah.
I went to check, and these terrifying creatures, 3 of them.
You said there was a pig farmer as well?
Yes.
At some point, I asked him about the time of the night that so we can get our timelines situated.
If there were 3
Give
of them,
me
that's a
your
problem.
alibi.
I mean, I figured that there were more than the 2 that we've killed
Right.
so far in the first place. But, you know, if the timeline doesn't work out, then
Right.
It woke me from my sleep, but it was a particularly bright night, which is why the darkness was strange. Yes, past midnight.
I have no idea what time we did
I would-
all the
I
fighting
think all after our fight.
Not before?
You guys were starting that. You guys entered the cow farmers area at dusk.
Yeah. It was around midnight when we were settling down in the barn. I think maybe a little bit after.
Yeah.
So that means that either the magic hadn't worn off and they came out for one last hurrah, or
Hey guys,
night on the town,
one
boys.
last night on the town for good old time's sake. Let's go hack up some chickens.
Puts on pumpkin head. Yeah, let's go, baghead.
put on the pumpkin head so they can't see my tears.
Also, we killed one of the scarecrows last night. Wait, was its remains still there when in the morning? Oh, that would have been suspicious.
Sus.
Would have been
They were,
sus.
yeah, they were still there.
Okay. So there may be multiple pumpkin head.
Who has a pumpkin head army? Who does that?
Waylon.
This is true.
Waylon does, in fact, have a pumpkin head army.
They put on the pumpkin head to hide their tears.
We get to the big bad guy. It's like, Who are you? And he's like, Waylon!
I'm just here playing Rust and with my farm and my pumpkins.
We'll stay in touch. We might do a little bit more searching in the area to make sure that everything is done in its finality. There was something in that book. I think I remember seeing something that looked something like a map in that book.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're, I guess, leaving this place. Take a look at that a second time. Maybe try and pour over that for some better information. Just spend some more than just the glancing through.
Do you show him the book, or is it just something for you guys?
No,
No, yeah.
showing the farmer.
That would be we'll bid you adieu and try to see if we can solve the rest of this problem.
Okay.
Percy,
Yes.
I'm kind of hungry. Do you want to ask if there's...
No.
Hey man, you got any chicken?
yeah.
I'm all hungry.
Perhaps you can go check for tracks or something.
But there's
back.
no...
We will
We'll do
be
the
happy to look.
investigating thing.
But there's no, like, chicken bodies. There are? Where?
In the chicken.
You didn't pick them up?
No, there were things that were.
Okay, that's weird. I go out to look at... I go out to look...
He did not even try and stop the scoundrels.
I do not understand this man. He doesn't risk his life for his whole life.
He did not risk his life for his chickens.
Poor chickens. They deserve better. They deserve pig owner. So I go to see, like, are they the same slash marks? Is there any particular, like, remnants, like tar? Also get some breakfast.
Wow. First of all,
Also collect some vial of chicken blood if possible.
investigation, and give me
A reading check.
a survival check.
Sure.
Is that a yes to the chicken blood?
Huh? What?
Chicken blood.
You're trying to pick up chicken blood?
Yes, I'm trying to drain one of the chickens and I have to get its blood.
How exactly would you going to fail at that?
You know that due to the length of time that all of this is kind of like coagulated at this point. You also know that when you get to the chicken coops, there are feathers and just blood like everywhere. The feathers stuck to the wall. So you can give me your investigation check.
I got a 14 on my reading the map to survive check.
Okay.
11!
11. You find like amongst the blood, very small bits of like some of that tar stuff. But there's not really much to be found in here. All of the chickens were utterly slaughtered, though, in gruesome fashion. You see entrails everywhere. You see decapitated chickens. Feathers just everywhere. And a whole bunch of smashed eggs.
That's just.
I try to sneak some stuff for snacks. Easy snacks. I put it into my bag. Also, I try to... I don't think it's that hard to drain a chicken that's already open. You just... and then just come...
You can collect it in what container?
I have...
You've swapped out your original bag for a different bag.
I think. Do you have an herbalism kit?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that comes with vials.
Okay. Yeah, you can collect some vials of chicken blood.
Just one.
Okay. A vial of chicken blood. You also would note that chicken slaughtered in this manner are probably not the greatest of consuming. You tend to not want entrails covering the otherwise chunky bits you want to consume.
Rusty claws.
No.
animal waste.
It's
No enemy things that are cutting through
Yeah,
things.
right.
Leaving tar everywhere.
okay, Prometheus, get out of my head. If he was here, he would tell me I shouldn't. I'm sure.
Percy glances at Astra filling a vial full of chicken blood and just looks directly into the camera.
That's a little laugh track.
So the survival, you kind of understand what this map is saying now that you've traveled the road back and forth between. You think this is a map of the surrounding area.
With clearly marked X's where all the scarecrow attacks have happened.
Or where all the little understory study rooms, ritual rooms are
Maybe.
built.
What kind of landmarks are marked on that?
You get the sensation that you're seeing farms, and that you're pretty sure that the one that's shaded in was the cow farmers.
The only one that's shaded in though.
There are two more that are shaded in.
God
Ooh,
damn it.
yeah.
Looks like we have a lead.
More work to do?
Please tell me one of them's the pig farmer.
I'm telling you, pig farmers are shady as shit.
Probably fed his dead wife to one of the pigs and it turned into a scarecrow.
You know that there
Pig
are several
farmer
farms to the
killed
north on
her
this map.
husband, whacked him.
You know that there are several farms to the north on this map. You don't quite know which one's the pig farm.
That's fair.
We should probably head to one.
Yeah.
Is there any significant difference between the two of them?
One is more west than the other.
Let's go to the far one first.
You would know that you probably stand a good chance of asking the farmer what
I'd rather not involve them if we don't have to. Do I feel like we would not be capable of finding those locations?
You haven't really traveled in the area before. He basically gave you nondescript locations to the pig farmer, though. Like, you could find out where the pig farm.
Yeah, there's one road.
I mean, like, these two look. You have trouble with the two.
Not trouble that you wouldn't find it. It would just take time.
Yeah.
They
We can follow the map.
not involve them.
Yeah, I'd rather just follow.
Save that man some grief.
He's dealt with enough recently. Then you just poking around and.
What?
You're being an asshole.
Astra.
That's what Astra stinks.
I don't like it. You know, of all the names you've called me, Percy, I don't make fun of your name that often.
Alright. Let's make our way up to one of those houses.
Okay.
Begin our journey anew.
You can use some closure to this situation.
I thought we were opening doors.
Trying to close them, keep them shut.
Indeed. Indeed.
So anyways, about pig farmers. So pigs are really smart. It's like having slaves because they can think like children. So you just have a farm full of slaves because they're like little thinking human children or like tiefling children or like, you know, like, you get the point? They're like people children.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
Many animals are like that. You really get to know them.
Yeah, but then there's cows and then there's chickens. It's different. They all have souls. They all have a purpose, but pig farmers are a little much.
Huh?
Bears are pretty smart too.
Yeah. You don't see any bear farmers.
That would be difficult. Though not impossible, I would imagine.
I'm
Bears
gonna have
are-
to entertain this thought for a moment, please. Give me some time.
The time takes your traveling time.
I think
I
bears
was
are more
daydreaming
likely.
about how would you make a bear farm profitable, because it's the most badass thing that I've heard of in a while, but how would you make money?
I'd like to introduce you to a documentary.
Have you ever heard of a zoo before?
So the
It's called
thing
the Tiger
is,
King.
Have you ever heard of the bear people that have people as their farm? You know, and it's like a people farm.
I've never heard of bear with a people.
Yeah. I drummed it once. I'm sure it's a thing.
Ain't possible.
Somewhere in the world, a werebear has a slave farm.
Literally in the north section where they have the indentured servitude portion, there's one of the wardens that's a werebear, and he's just like, "Are you talking about me?"
Alright. We arrive at our location.
We travel.
You do. You are greeted to the sounds of a pig farm.
Is it
I want to. Wait.
don't know if it
Before
matters
I
if it's
get,
not a big farm.
when I start hearing, if off in the distance, I want to speak with animals. I want to speak with animals. And before we get there,
we see the farm on the distance, and I'm like, all right, choose now, animals or magic. Start casting.
animals.
Speak with
How long does speak with animals last for? Is it an hour or 10 minutes?
I think it's 10 minutes. I think it's the same as detect magic, if I remember correctly.
I'm sure it's not overpowered. Oh, I have cards for this. I was gonna look it up on the thing.
While you're doing that, big farm.
Pig farmer.
That's so cute.
You can see several pens that are housing multiple sets of pigs. And you see a barn house, and you see like a house.
We're gonna start with the investigative report.
That sounds fine by me.
Sneaky snake?
Snick a snack.
Okay.
Come one with the pigs.
You and Percy can make stealth checks. Speak with animals will fail.
10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she's a great distraction.
I would like to. I specifically am like, we're gonna do it differently this time. I'm gonna hang back. I'm gonna cast it, and then we're gonna walk up. I'm gonna walk up all
You're gonna walk
assertive.
up already.
Ready.
Meanwhile, we sneak around back.
Okay, stealth checks.
Stealth check. Come on. Why can't I roll anything? A 5.
I also rolled a 5, but that gives me a 10.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you realize that the ground around here is just mostly flat and open.
Yeah,
There's not much to hide with.
Welcome to Texas.
You just don't make noise. You just have the typical walking. It's not super noisy. You're not screaming your lungs out or anything.
We're not walking in the front. That's the important
Yeah, that was the important piece here.
thing.
You do not see him in the windows as you guys
That
cross by.
translates to us snooping the place out.
Yeah. You snoop the place out. Looks like a pig farm. You don't see anything that would stand out and catch your interest. Outside, obviously.
I mean,
Barn house is unlocked. You take a peek in. There's several more pigs in there, and
We
you can
could-
see one king.
What kind of pigs? Are these pink pigs, spotted pigs, javelina, giant red hogs?
Just pink, just nondescript
Just
pink.
pink potbelly pigs?
Just some pot
Oh
pigs.
no!
oh no, they're cute.
Oh no!
So do we try to get him or whoever is running the place out of the house this time? I prefer not to have them get slaughtered by their own creations, but
Well,
it is poetic in a way.
I mean, we don't know if they're all going to be the same story, right?
True.
Not everyone has a dead wife to resurrect.
True.
Perhaps they're not all involved.
Mean. If I know one thing about adventurers, is they all got dead parents. If I know one thing about farmers, they all got dead wives.
And
or kids.
that's so true.
Or dogs.
Or cousins, or somebody's gonna be dead. That's for sure.
So I mean, we can wait to see what that one does, and then
Yeah, I
once
think we just chill out for a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that takes time, so we finish. Goes and talks to the pigs.
Yeah, I make my way to Peaky Peaky.
Okay, you make
Probably.
big pigs.
not quite guns blazing, but
She got her pig shot in out.
I try and find me a big ol' Hamlet boy.
You find one that is just like in the middle of its own mud bath.
Hello. You can speak back.
You just hear an oink in your head.
Oh, you better. You better.
You say it?
What's your name? Name? You?
You just see the image of one of the other pigs nearby.
Yo, you're funny. The farmer. And I want to. Is this only? Do I get the message that he's not going to speak with me? That he's only going to send me images?
Kind of so far.
Okay, so the farmer, scarecrows, candles.
When you give it the
tar.
impersonation or the perception of farmer, what kind of image do you send it?
Like big hat, pitchfork, overalls, like farmer.
It just shakes its head.
I put horns on it.
It sends you back something with scales on it.
Yes. I start shooting out scaly things like Yuan-Ti and
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn.
The pig
and-
stands up, like you start sending it the Yuan and it sends you back an image of a very fat dragonborn with green scales.
Yes, okay. So then I'll be like,
It's wagging the mud just dripping from its tail.
treats? And says,
Jenny just like looks up at you.
It pops back down into the mud.
okay. So I try to send it scarecrow images. Or skeleton images.
It starts shaking
With fear?
with fear. It sends you back the scarecrow with long claws. It sends you back another image of the pig. Does not look good.
Okay. I try to make the fat dragonborn like. You said he was big, or you said he was plump, or was he like?
Fat.
Okay, he was super stiff. Okay, so I sent him the same image that he sent me, but with like a sad face, like angry. Anything?
Sends back one with a smile.
I sent him pictures of tar.
So I don't know what to do with that. You get the image of not really curiosity, just like never seen. Not really interested.
I go to talk to a better pig. Bad pig.
Bad pig.
Bad pig. I immediately start like pinging pigs.
You get imagery of what you can only imagine is the slop that it gets fed, sent back to you. And the sensation of hunger.
Needy pigs. Oh, I do darkness. Magical darkness.
Send you back the image of the scarecrow.
So we know that it's been here. God, questioning unintelligent things is hard. Or things that only speak. Pigs are smart. Things that only speak in images is rough.
Mm-hmm.
I put an image of me and an image of the Dragonborn together, and I'm like, meh, to see like what would happen.
It sends you back an image of what you presume to be inside the farmhouse, and there's a table and placed you and the farmer sitting at the table together. The fat dragonborn.
I like the idea of that potentially meaning that this pig just occasionally hangs out inside the house. And like, yeah, I've seen the inside of the house. I've seen people sit at these tables.
You should do that. I like those people.
Yeah. I get fed more when people are here.
Okay, I attempt to like use context clues to make my way to the front of the farm slash house slash area and take this pig sort of. Is there any treats or anything that I can keep this pig with me? Like,
You? I mean, you have rations.
no, fuck that. He's gotta have like a barrel somewhere with treats, like maple treats. Maple
Alright,
treats.
none of
This
the
is
farmer
getting
how
very
exists.
specific.
You can see that his slot bin has been cleaned through already.
What pig farmer doesn't have treats? Bad pig farmer.
You see a giant bucket of treats in the farmhouse
I go for
that the pig gives you imagery-wise.
yeah. Show me where your treats are.
They're in the house.
Okay, I go that way.
Okay.
Lead me to the treats. You show me, and I'll give you one.
You get the sensation that it would rather be in the mud bath, but wants you to bring it the treats for sure. And it just rolls into the mud.
Oh my god, you're useless. Okay, I go to find. No, I don't. I go to find the person. Yeah.
Okay, so you go to the farmhouse.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. What are you two doing? Are you
Also, what do Dragonborn speak?
Draconic?
Draconic.
Common.
In common.
I guess when our search turns up fruitless, we probably should go to where the fruit tree is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Talk to the source directly.
Do I have any, sort of like documentation or marking that, from being associated with the Mages Guild in Waterdeep?
You do have a crest, yeah. It's like a small gilded membership thing. It's more of a token with a stamp on it.
Okay. And that's the, Watchful Order of Magus and Protectors?
Yep.
Duly noted.
Question. So, because Olo taught me like languages and blah blah blah, do we as common folk who have multiple languages know basic greetings from other languages? Like, you know, Ohio or Hola or Aloha or Konnichiwa. Like, do we know, like, hey, the Dragonborn hello is, or, like, Draconic hello is, you know, like, whatever it is. Would we know that?
Were you in communication with the Dragonborn in Featherdale? Were you in communication?
I assume so. Like, Dragonborn are common.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it strongly depends. I think, like, who knows for any given race? Yes, no, maybe. I don't know.
Go ahead and roll a intelligence check.
Ten.
Yes.
Yes. I say that. Dragonborn. No.
Not whales.
You don't know. This guy seems to be.
Dragonborn speak and whale speak.
I can speak Dragonborn. No, I can't. I cannot. So I do that, but in.
All the Dragonborn speak Spanish.
Hola. ¿Dónde está guapo? ¿Dónde? No, so I call out in Dragonborn. Hello!
Okay.
Dragon tails, come on, take my hand, let's all go to Dragonland!
As you are getting close to the farmhouse, you can hear what sounds like very, very loud snoring.
What time of day approximately is it?
About like 10 or 11.
That seems real late for a farmer.
Let's go steal his
It's
treasure.
all-
His
it's
pigs
nap
don't have
time.
treats.
Oh. I just think it's a nap.
Also, maybe he was
Bad
up
farmer.
really late doing malicious things.
Maybe. Maybe he was...
Or totally wholesome things like dark rituals in his basement
Yeah.
that every normal person would do.
Yeah.
I believe we all three approach the door.
Yeah, at this
Maybe-
point, probably.
Just
Maybe a good time for me to look around?
Don't see why it could hurt.
Check for an alarm system.
Do the checking and unlocking.
Can I
and
also
snooping
help to
thing.
look for...
investigation with advantage, make stealth checks.
Still sure. No, wait. I'm gonna roll a different.
This,
dice.
20!
Yes, I think so, but I think we also just still have to make.
You said investigation with advantage?
I got a 9 this time.
Well, my investigation with advantage is a 2. So if there's an alarm, I'm not gonna notice it. But I attempt to sneak
Oh!
with 24.
Hey!
And I unlock the door.
It's not locked.
It's not locked.
Literally, beer, beer, beer. And he's like, perfect time to be sneaky as shit.
I check the fireplace first.
Okay.
Very cool.
You move into the room. You can see that the fireplace has the remnants of last night's fire in it. You do not perceive. You shift parts of the ashes a little bit, and you don't see any kind of like thing underneath the fireplace.
Okay, I look elsewhere in the home.
It is basically similar in size to the previous barn houses that you've been to. And typical same arrangement almost. It's got a bedroom offshoot. This one has like an enclosed pantry space. It's basically the only intelligible difference.
There's a secret passageway at the bottom of the pantry.
Yeah.
That's where I would put my. If I had a secret entrance to my basement filled with dark rituals, it would be.
That's because you would probably do kitchen magic.
Yes, kitchen magic.
You also need snacks on the way.
Snacks.
Snacky
Snacks.
The pantry is filled with like cured meats. And,
Oh no, Hamlet!
and what you do notice is that there's a very plump female dragonborn of the green variety, like posted up on what seems to be a rather elaborate piece of furniture for a farmer. Has a nice ottoman with like a red cushion that legs are splayed out on. You can see a butcher's apron also coating her.
Okay, she's asleep.
She is currently just knocked out of sleep. Just her mouth is just hanging open. You can see her teeth and her tongue's kind of like hanging out. Just full on Snorfest.
I basically thoroughly case the place and find absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I come back outside and let my companions quietly know.
What's the plan?
You do not wake a sleeping dragon, and you do not wake a woman.
Also good advice.
Well, or a
Fair.
man. But, you know, you're right.
We do have business to do here. Presumably.
So there's darkness, and the scarecrows have been here, and they've slaughtered a pig, and there's a table where people often meet. Do you see anything like this table description, or is it in the barn?
There's like a kitchen.
Table? What's the table from?
The pig communication.
Oh, the pig was like, hey, go sit at the table because
Yeah.
that's where people come.
And you
sit
noticed
at the
a kitchen table, and not that it stood out to you at the time, but there was a bucket on it with presumably pig treats.
I get some of the pig. Is it a pig talk?
Do we want to speak with the Dragonborn?
Yes, after I go try and get the pig to open up. And I immediately go to try and get the pig and send one last message trying to give a trapdoor, something moving aside, a crawl space.
I would like to further investigate the ottoman.
Okay, give me a stealth check here.
I stay in the middle
fine.
just in case the pig or the Ottoman
18.
attacks.
17.
Okay. The ottoman is
A mimic.
an ottoman, a nice ottoman. Worth at least a couple gold pieces.
I could imagine a scenario where hidden inside the ottoman is what we're looking for. Right?
Okay.
Clearly not. There's no candles of any kind.
You have not seen any candles. Well, you've seen candles here, but because you said of any kind, but not those kinds of candles.
Okay. These were special candles? And
No,
not
they're just normal
candles.
candles.
The candles we saw earlier were special
No,
candles?
they have like a palish, like, bloodless skin color, white to them.
Good paint color.
Good pink color.
Okay.
Like a off-pale eggshell white.
Yeah.
Meets white. Bloodless skin.
I want to talk to the Dragonborn because that seems like that's the only other thing here we haven't interacted with. But at the same time, I don't understand what we could possibly get from this Dragonborn, whether they were involved or not involved in the situation. So I'm at a loss.
We can try the other house.
I want to try to talk to the pig first.
Yes, you may bring the treats to the chosen one and retry talking to the pig.
Approach it and I'm like, listen, you only get these treats.
So you're about 100 yards away or so. Are you guys staying at the house while she's doing this?
I basically continue my position of like hidden right outside the front door in case I hear shit go down in either direction.
Okay.
I am outside of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging around.
Okay. You two are both greeted to the sounds of pigs starting to get a little bit noisy 100 feet away. The pigs know what's up. They smell the treats as you get closer and you start attracting them. They start winking. Even the ones that were sleeping, the ones that were your friend who was playing in the mud pit, has now gotten out and has left a sloppy little trail as he's started coming towards you. Think Minecraft holding out.
I walk up to the mud pit one and I'm like, continuing the conversation.
You get the imagery of treats back.
I try to say trapdoor or like give the image of moving or something sliding open and creaking open, like
The only thing it responds with is the barn door that slides open.
candles,
Nope. No candles.
cold sensation, like really, really cold.
You just get nighttime.
Oh, you're useless. Throws treats.
It like barely clears an inch or so off the ground as it hops towards it and he goes over his head. He turns around and starts chasing after it. Several of the other pigs try to beat him to it. The amount of noise that is starting to occur starts really reaching the house in earnest, and you can tell that the farmer's basically subconsciously tuned to listen to the sound of her pigs getting a little bit crazy. So she kind of like wakes up with a start. You can hear her start wrestling in the house and going, ha, ha, ha! And the sounds of her feet landing, her boots, hitting the wooden floor. And,
All better now than never.
I-
Is anyone home?
what? Who goes there?
We're here on a mission from Farmer Ruth. He's having us investigate the scarecrow happenings.
Oh, yes, he collected for... how goes the investigation then?
Farmer Roscoe is dead.
What? One moment. You can hear her cross towards the kitchen area where you hear the pail get lifted, and then she comes to the door and opens it.
Farmer Roscoe is dead.
Tragic. What happened?
Killed by the scarecrows in the night.
They attacked the people?
Yes.
More caution.
Know anything about Father Roscoe? The situation? Anything that could help us?
The situation? Other than him dead?
He was different from the others.
The what? Farmers?
Yes. The only one attacked. You know anything about his history or his past, or?
He seemed like a pleasant person. He was kind when I met her on a couple occasions. We didn't really talk very much, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Of his wife, do you know much of her?
I don't even remember her name. We only met a couple times. He lives to the northeast-ish.
You know how long he's been here in these parts?
Years?
Longer than you?
Pretty sure. a couple years. Been a while. Couple generations now.
Have some information that
Do you mind? I had to go tend to my pigs. We can walk
yeah.
away.
We have
And so she steps out and just like portly moves away up, but she's very gentle as she shuts the door and takes the pail and I don't need this. I think she takes off the butcher apron and
I am with the pigs going like, no, I don't have any treats.
oh, is that one of your companions down there?
yes. We have some information that that leads us to one of these nearby farms, and I mentioned the directional information with the other farm that has the mark. You know anything about who lives there or their situation? Any information at all would help.
There's probably half a dozen farms more to the north and the west. Good people. Just various things. Some are vegetable farmers. Some livestock, probably. I think there's a sheep or something.
Be more specific.
Like 2 plots over to
Like-
the west.
Yeah, like trying to pinpoint the specific farm that is marked.
Do you show her the map?
I do not initially show her.
I mean, she indicates that there's a farm north of here. You can follow a path that is just west of her farm, and that takes you to one of the nearby farms. And there's farms of varying distances up beyond that. Some of them are well pathhed, and some less so.
Right, but I'm trying to point her to the specific farm that's marked on the map. Not just
Without showing
generally.
her the map.
Yes, I could draw it on a piece of parchment or something if I need to, but I want to describe that specific farm. Distance and direction.
Okay. Bit of an enigma from her perception. Yeah, sure. There's a farm to the northwest of here. And she gives you the loose direction to the farm to the northwest.
Do you know who lives there?
Oh, sheep farm. Probably. I think this one was. Don't get around much. People here don't really care for the scales.
Never met them at market or anything?
At what point in this conversation do they meet up with Percy and then to us?
I was at the door with her.
Oh.
She kind of encountered. But they're probably well to you by now. Oh, hey, do you want to feed them?
Yes! Also, fuck people who don't like your scales.
Agreed. Yes, I like it.
Some treats.
She hands you, and just the weight of it, pulls your arms down to the ground. You barely hold on to it. Several of the things, and just at this, make an animal handling check.
Oh, fuck yeah. 11. 12.
Okay. Sensing weakness in their.
Oh, no!
You get rushed by several of the pigs, and as you start trying to pick the bucket up out of the reach, several of them get into it, their faces get into it, and several of them make away with some of the goods before you were able to wrest of it away. The big muddy one bumps into your knee and knocks you, and you spill out more on the ground.
What is that one's name?
That one's Bloof.
Luth. I knew it. I knew it.
It is eating happily.
I begin to...
What's your name?
Astra, I one by one these streets out.
I'm not as delicate with just pig, just chomping at your fingers.
Okay, all right. And are there any baby pigs?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
How frequently do you have pigs this small?
As nature permits.
So you don't breed them? You don't do...
I let them take care of that.
Okay. But
Sometimes I have to go buy more, but not often. I usually keep several of my older ones around.
how frequently do you kill them?
Well, it's my primary source of money, so as frequently as I keep a healthy population.
Have any died due to the scarecrows?
Oh, yes. We lost 2 of them. about a week ago.
Good ones or bad ones?
I don't think they really care, but I mean, I like my pigs. I dislike what they did to them. Sure.
They?
Of course.
If you were to point fingers at anyone for bringing bad juju,
Bad juju.
you've never heard of
You can see her
juju?
working- No.
What about feng shui?
No.
Perhaps
The heebie-jeezies?
I think I am familiar with that one. I've heard it used in Waterdeep a couple times.
You know, people who are give you the heebie-jeezies.
Well, they all treat me like an outsider. So.
Yeah, but everyone treats
Well, except for Ruth. Ruth is nice. I love Ruth.
Who else are you friends with? Ruth seemed very nice.
Ruth is very nice.
Do you live on this farm alone?
Ah, yes. My husband, he passed away sometime. That's okay.
Oh, it's the dead relatives.
So,
Is there like a village cemetery kind of place that would normally be a place to rest? Do we know?
You would know that, like, you're not necessarily in a town or village, so most people on the farm probably have their own graves. And then, like, she would say, oh yeah, his grave's over there. And it's underneath, like, an apple tree. And then you would know that in the more, like, densely kind of, like, I think, small hamlet-style villages, they would
Pun
probably
intended.
have their own graveyard.
So you had something to bond over.
Ooh,
You and Ruth.
Ruth? What do you mean?
Oh no, it wasn't Ruth. It was. Was it Ruth?
The cow farmer or the rooster farmer?
The
Roscow
Roscow.
Cow.
or Ruther?
The one who has the dead wife.
That's Roscow.
That'd be
Roscow.
Roscow.
Okay, you and Roscow, you had something to bond over.
What do you mean?
His wife was dead.
I don't really talk.
What
I
about.
knew he had a wife. It's a shame. She passed.
We like it. So, what about people who have children in the area?
Yeah, some of the farmers do. They send them to the schools down into the south of Undercliff.
Perhaps this is about time we get to go.
Yeah, we have places to be.
Are
A lot
there,
more investigative work to do to solve this problem. If you hear anything at all, please let us know. Or let Ruth know, and he will let us.
Will do.
one more question.
Sure.
Are there any other females in the area?
Yes.
Yeah, like,
Some of the vegetable, cabbage and carrots and stuff. There's a lovely couple. They're to the west.
thank you for letting me feed your pigs. It's fun.
Whereas you can throw the rest of the bucket. They'll consume it. Yep.
Have to make sure they all get one. This one wants more treats all the time.
They all do.
Yeah, but this one gets in front of the other pigs. That's a problem.
It is bigly.
That's Piggly?
It's
Yeah,
the
okay.
pig way.
Oh. Like
Way of
Piggly
pigs.
Wiggly. Okay.
Well, it was pleasant meeting you. Best of luck to your
Nice meeting you.
investigations.
What was your name again?
Cork.
Cork. That makes sense. Now that I think about it.
Corky. The pig.
The pig farmer, Pork, and Roscow, and Ruther.
Cute.
Trying to think.
And she says, like, the nearest farm is about 50 minutes, slightly northwest, follow the path.
Appreciate the directions.
We do that towards the sheep farmer.
Possibly. Or just towards the one that's marked on our map. That may or may not be the sheep farmer.
Yeah. I immediately. Oh God. Ren. What if it's a coven? What if it's an earthquake?
What is going on?
Yeah, but to be better about it this time, it is time for intermission. So we will be back.
What if it's a coven? Dun dun dun!
10
What if it's hags?
minutes.
I got 10 minutes, one for my minute.
All right, we will be back. Oh, push the button.
Oh. Oh.
Resume the other. Okay, and we're back. Unmuted? Yes. Sweet. Let's resume.
Brain recharge.
Brain recharge. Brain food. Puppies re-click clack.
You have
Danny,
talked to Cork. She has indicated that you can follow the path to the next farm if you wish to do so.
Yeah, we'll leave for
She's indicated that there are many farms in many directions from her farm.
Yeah. This is farm territory.
We go to the map.
I say
Go to the
Ren.
other location.
Ren, it could be a coven.
I think
yes,
maybe to dispel some of like the imagery here, and I didn't do a good enough job explaining it. It is vaguely what you would call a map. You just see like an open space and some shaded in boxes and some not shaded in boxes. There's no given sense of like direction, distancing, or anything to it. Basically obtuse surroundings. Essentially, you just see boxes on a page that you've interpreted.
So if you were to write directions to your friend on how to get to your house and you had to draw the streets, it's not going to be even.
There are no streets on it either. It is
Well,
just
the equivalent of like, it may not be to scale.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. In which case, we do our best to find the third house.
The shaded house?
Yes.
You travel down the road by about an hour. You come across sounds of bleating.
I
Teen
want to
sheep.
speak with sheep and moles.
I don't want to speak with sheep. Sheep do not seem like they would be very nice to
Actually, this time, would you mind doing the magic one? I know, we can. There'll be plenty of time to talk to the sheep later.
Detect magic. Detect magic.
That's the spirit.
Detect magic.
That's a spirit. Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. We got a
detect
dream of finding these dang scarecrows.
Okay.
We take our time getting there to make sure the detect magic finishes casting. and then-
Detect
I
magic.
think we follow suit with the previous times we've done this a few times of case the place, be sneaky, see what we see, depending on the situation, proceed from there.
Okay. It's midday. You know the farmer is in her pastures with her sheep.
It's a coven.
Are the pastures nearby? Or are they like. Okay.
You guys
Can
are
we
kind
tell
of like
what
currently
she's
in
wearing?
a.
Can we tell?
There's a few trees around the section that you stopped at before you proceeded up to the farm. She's not currently noticed you, but it is a pretty open pasture, being the operative word here. Section.
We could potentially take a more direct approach if we wanted to.
Or a more indirect approach to the house, pastures, person, us, go around, and then come from this direction.
It's like
But
someone walking a track. Like,
we're just walking this way, don't mind us, and then okay, she's out of sight. Cut in.
oh my gosh. Was that
Yeah,
one
I
for
mean,
you, Betsy?
I'm not opposed, especially. I mean, I don't know. It's not like if you were a particularly dark evil being cult member, you would be like, "Yo, I'm a dark evil being cult member." But that being said,
You wouldn't?
Cusco was kind of like that in a way. Of what we talked to me, like, oh,
You do get the sensation from the fact that you know that the path ends at this farm, from what Cork told you earlier, and the fact that it's just completely open in the background. If you were to approach from that end, it would definitely seem suspicious.
if we were seen approaching.
Right. Well, if you greeted her at all from a situation where you weren't coming in from the path, it would seem suspicious.
Cool. You lead the way first.
If you want to try to sneak around while I go talk to her, we could maybe do something like that, or we could just.
It didn't work the last few times. I don't see why. I'm not particularly invested in it in whatever way we do this at this point.
Yeah, seems fine.
Hope she's an animal. Detect magic.
Okay.
Once her detect magic pops head off into the field towards
Pops head
the
off. Okay. Her head pops off.
towards the sheep herder.
Puts ritual doll back. Oops, sorry.
Sometimes known as shepherd.
Okay, does she look like Little Bo Peep, or what she look like though?
She looks like a little. He's halfling.
Does she have bow? Does she have one peeper?
Oh,
The one-eyed Bo Peeper.
Sheeper rough, man.
She is just a normal person. Has both good eyes in her, and a little shepherd's crook. He has a couple dogs that help manage the flock.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
Couldn't talk to a dog.
You can talk to a dog in town.
I have a feeling that even if she was an evil, dark ritual priest, the dog would still be like, Master Best, yes, good person.
I mean, sometimes turns into scarecrow, but good person.
You do know the suspicious idea that as you guys get closer, some of the flock is surrounding scarecrows.
Everyone else is kind of taking their scarecrows down as a precaution, I'm assuming, that we've met so far.
Why does a sheep herder need scarecrows?
Well, to keep the scarecrows from pecking out the eyes of her sheep. Or of the crows.
For general knowledge, what are scarecrows used for, IRL?
They are imitations of life that birds find hostile, or should, and that prevents them from coming down and eating their crops and stuff.
What do you feed sheep?
Grass.
Crops.
Pasture.
Grass.
Crops. I say crops.
Grass. Alright, well, nothing to see here. We head back to Waterdeep. This is
Nothing is
completely...
suspicious about this at all. It's time to leave.
Do one of them have a pumpkin head?
Give me a perception check.
Is that
There's
a
not a pumpkin
basketball, or is that the
You
pumpkin?
guys are a bit of a distance away.
Okay.
You do not.
17!
She got them eyes.
So the sheep are.
farming.
There's a general kind of cadence going on as the sheep are being corralled. At some point, there's a small clearing. You do see a pumpkin head at the base of one of the scarecrows.
Listen. So,
Scarecrows have pumpkin heads all the time.
Well, this is incredibly suspicious. That's exactly what Robert would want us to think.
Ah, yes.
Who is
You
this
see a
one?
murderous scarecrow next to you.
The halfling turns and fires a firebolt at you.
I'm not convinced.
Alright.
That's just how you say hello and
We approach suspiciously.
Are you
approach non-suspiciously.
going around the inside still?
No,
Okay.
I said
He's
he's
following
leading the
suit.
show.
Okay.
He wants to talk to people.
Do you
You can go ahead and do it.
see what I see?
What do you see?
A pumpkin at the base of that scarecrow.
That's pretty fair. That's worth note.
Again, terrible idea to use pumpkins on your scarecrows.
Also,
It's literally bird food.
Yes! Yeah.
do you see what I see?
What is that?
Got him.
Some sort of arcane sigil? I do not understand.
Ah!
You trying to cast a spell on him?
Actually, I think you would understand the arcane sigil.
I am a man of very few, very little arcane and street knowledge. I do not understand what kind of symbol you are flashing in my direction.
Astra's like, come on, starts flashing gang signs. You know these are funny.
Also, my detect magic is going off.
Where'd you learn the Xanathar's gang symbol?
What up, bitches?
It's just
It's a circle, but it's this. It's definitely this.
Yeah! This is the... Squirt it.
it's literally just like they go to fist bump and the other one goes. That's just their
That's actually really dope.
It's a beholder.
I feel like there exists a world where that is the truth.
Yes,
I'll
I'm
never
sure
not
there is.
fist bump you in that way. I don't know. We're gonna be in real life, like,
See, the thing
yeah,
is, how do you
man.
know who's the body and who's the tentacles? Because you're like, how often do they go to high five and they're like, oh no, it's all tentacles, or oh no, it's just two giant eyes.
That's not how that works. Someone's always in the festive mood to go, hey, it's a turkey. Blah, 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 blah.
I mean,
This
I
is the
guess.
initiative. The person that's doing the thing is the person who's like,
The
this
person with
one?
the higher decks.
My tentacles over yours. Sorry. My
actually-
bad.
This is important lore.
The clash only happens if they both fail their charisma checks. One of them walks up and is like, "Hey," and the other one, like, if they roll a 1, they're just like, "Hey, man."
Awkward handshake.
Yep.
Anywho, we approach.
We approach our flashing games.
Wait, do you remember if it was like this or?
Nope, I do not. I do not recall. We approach the halfling farmer person.
Do halflings speak a language?
Yes. Most sentient creatures have a language that they...
Ha. A special language.
Yes.
What is their special language?
Something weird about the halfling language. I don't remember. I think they don't have a written language or something like that.
I know very, very little things about gnomes and halflings. I'm generally not allowed to know anything about them.
I don't say anything other than say yoo-hoo.
No.
Yoo-hoo.
I think I'm gonna be okay in common.
Just try it. What's harm?
Greetings.
That was awful.
The halfling gives a start. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
I told you it was awful.
We're just here for a routine inspection. I'm from the Watchful Order of Magus and Protectors, you see. I was sent out,
She bolts.
run after her, maybe?
I run faster than most people.
Most people run faster than halflings.
That is also true. We were...
I try and grab her by the scruff of her.
Rude. Yeah, you hoist a mini-me into the air. Wow, okay. But yeah, she's taking off, little hands pumping away, and you catch up to her, and she's just like, as you're getting closer, she stumbles and like skids on her. She's about halfway back to her farmhouse.
Don't hurt her.
I have no intention to.
She screams out, "Don't hurt me! Vile horned creature!"
Puts hat back on.
Well, this is
Anyway.
this is incredibly suspicious.
Unhand me, you cretin!
Ooh.
No.
I don't think so.
You're assaulting me on my property! And she starts to kind of like batting her hands at you, trying to get you to let her go. She's going to
Yoo-hoo.
attempt to break your grip.
Yes,
With an athletics check.
I mean, I suppose I am.
You may make an athletics check to hold on to her.
Sure.
We're sprinting up. I'm sprinting up. I don't know.
Me
about you.
also.
It's 18.
She almost got away.
Oh?
But as she's like breaks her grip,
How
you just-
long?
I mean,
And no, I don't. Whatever you were insinuating I was about to do.
no, she breaks the grip from your hands and you're able to regrab her.
Okay.
She moves away. Realizing that you are quite the bit stronger than she is, she attempts to go a more passive route and act as small as possible so that she can find you.
Yes.
She is
We
so
collect her
still, she
and-
becomes invisible.
Rolls up like an armadillo and you take her.
You hear her start just mumbling furiously underneath her breath.
I would like to listen intently to what she's mumbling at.
It is
Thursday.
curses about you and the brutish thuggishness that you are manhandling.
She's
her.
not enchanting. You're
No.
chanting in Elvish.
It does not sound like an elvish enchantment.
Would you mind giving us a small tour of your home, please?
I do mind. Leave me alone.
What if we don't, though?
I'm afraid we must insist. We've already been by Roscoe's place.
Business of the Magistat here. There's nothing going on. It's perfectly legal business of cheaper.
Right.
Of course.
Of course, there's been no signs of scarecrow attacks or any other dark magic practices. No recently deceased
Give
loved
insight
ones.
All of you can. I think you're all standing around here.
It's okay, I'm already suspicious of the fact that she's probably just doing something else illegal.
20.
This is the drug house. Insight. It's in here somewhere. 13.
It was pretty open. You both catch that when you say scarecrow specifically, she kind of like winces. And her eyes dart towards the field where several of the scarecrows still.
Yeah, those are awful nice.
Astro, would you mind checking out some of the scarecrows in question?
Yeah. Also, first,
I didn't do that.
yoo-hoo. Nice to meet you. I'm Astra. Do I detect anything magical on her?
On her, no.
Hey, I walk up to the scarecrows.
What about the sheep?
One of the sheep stands up on its hind legs, glares at you and bolts.
Nah. I've already fought this boss in Spyro. It's literally a boss in Spyro that's just a sheep on stilts wearing a trench coat.
Okay.
Okay, so you go up to a scarecrow?
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Yeah.
And you are holding on to her?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I am interrogating the halfling.
Okay. You go up to the scarecrow. You see a pumpkin at the base of it.
Shillelagh.
According to the music, you pull out Excalibur and it shines in the sunlight.
Oh, that's actually just me singing it.
You would.
Alright. You may make your attack roll.
Inanimate object. Here we go. 19.
You can roll damage.
Danny.
Nope. Eat these
Jenny.
5 whole damage of bludgeoning.
Okay.
Scarecrow attacks you.
You hit this scarecrow, and it just like knocks over
Oh my god.
into the field.
I don't trust it, and I like.
You're not skipping out.
What?
Sniffed and licked the entire floor.
Jenny.
Jenny, what is the other thing? Okay, that's the main thing.
Animal friendship. Go lay
It
down.
fits.
Is there anything in the scarecrow?
Yeah, is there tar? Is there anything like that? Actually, no. I am super.
Chemical supplies.
Any candles around?
There are no candles around. You hit this scarecrow, and it falls over. It does not break. You would assume that something of a more mundane nature would have just basically exploded upon you hitting something that hard, or at least dismantled. It stays mantled.
I swing again.
Okay, you may roll
At
your
this
attack.
point, I'm like, What?
Does she have an advantage because it's broken?
I mean, this is a scarecrow. You swing at it with your...
Yeah, I'm gonna do it until it's broken apart. 14.
Okay, roll damage.
7.
Okay, you have hit it again. What questions are you asking her presently?
I mentioned that we've already spoken to and lost Roscoe, and already spoken to Cork, and we know that there's something going on here, and honestly, it's in her best interest to just tell us what she knows and what's going on, and we can do what we can to help her.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Go lay down.
Come on. An 11.
Come here.
11. You get the sensation that she's close to breaking, but she does not give you anything. You notice her kind of like wilt a little bit in the satyr's hold when you mentioned that Roscoe is dead, and now she's kind of like, her attention's been taken away, and she's just like looking out into the field towards your companion beating on one of her property items. She starts she starts noticeably sweating when she realizes that out in the field. I wouldn't do that
She
if I were her.
really doesn't stop. She could do that literally all day.
It's not safe.
And why would it be safe?
You've heard reports. You never know which ones are bad and which ones aren't. Not that I have anything to do with it.
You know.
Of course you didn't have anything to do with it.
You're right.
You know what I do?
So,
I firebolt light one on fire. That's what I do.
and if you had absolutely
Yeah.
nothing to do with it, then you should tell us everything you know so that we could apprehend whoever is responsible for it. That is not you, of course. We wouldn't
That's
want to get the
my-
wrong person here.
Third action against it. Whack! A whack! A
Okay, roll your attack roll.
yeah. And I was plus 5, so 14.
Alright, this is a weird
Roll
question.
damage.
So, Firebolt says that it lights inanimate objects aflame. If it didn't light a flame, would that indicate that it's not inanimate? How would
This is how we prove it.
So yeah, it's a creature or object within range.
Yeah.
And it's a flammable object hit by this spell ignites if it isn't being worn or carried. So it's 5 damage.
Okay. Not only does this thing start scorching, it catches fire.
I do that to the other two. It's 120 feet range.
Okay. The first thing that you do is cause a stampede as the sheep start getting the hell away from all these sources of fire.
Boo
We're supposed
moo!
to search the scarecrow for the drugs inside first.
Yes,
I got
the sheep
frustrated.
turns out they do not like the sudden spontaneous combustion that these scarecrows seem to be undergoing, and are going crazy against the pins, and quickly on the north end, the pasture wall is like overtaken, and so they bust through it and are now leaving, and the shepherd is now freaking out.
How about this? While Astra handles her side of the situation, let's go into the house and have a chat.
I need to get my sheep back. That is my livelihood.
You'll get your sheep back.
She can speak to animals, you know. As we're walking towards the
Okay. She is struggling, but you are maintaining possession of her. She is growing increasingly more furious at the situation, though.
My goal is to get her into the house and search the house while I just continually ask her the same questions, like, who was it that gave her the information, or who was it that spoke with her and Roscoe and the three of them, and who was it that gave them the information, and who was it that she lost, and why didn't she immediately report everything that was happening?
Lost. He would tell you, I haven't lost anything except my sheep. I want my sheep back. Let me go get my sheep.
They'll be back if you cooperate.
I am cooperating, being apprehended by criminals with a badge.
I kind of like that.
Don't let it get to your head.
Of course.
All we want is to put an end to all of this scarecrow nonsense, so that
So your plan is to destroy every scarecrow you see.
our plan is to destroy suspicious scarecrows who have pumpkins placed strategically nearby to be used as weird scarecrow masks.
Pumpkins. What's wrong with that?
Are you a pumpkin farmer?
Do you ever eat things that are not something you grow?
Yes, pretty regular.
Oh, okay.
So
I
do
mean,
you,
the
obviously.
concept. Yes.
But you don't leave them out in the hot sun in the middle of the field, do you?
Or for my sheep.
You know if sheep eat pumpkin?
I don't know if I know that.
I wouldn't be exactly surprised if they did or did not, but regardless.
To be honest, I can't even tell you the answer to that question.
Yeah, you know.
Does anybody know if sheep can eat pumpkin?
Here. Maybe.
Magic 8 Ball.
Magic 8 Ball.
Ew. Sounds like the warrior sheep will eat pumpkin.
No.
Yeah.
No, that means that sheep and pumpkin are mortal enemies.
Oh. I know that pumpkin's safe for dogs and a lot of animals, but I don't know IRL.
Alright, assuming we start searching the house.
Yes.
He does.
Okay. You start searching her house. You notice that this house is larger than the other ones.
Okay.
Smaller.
That's weird because she's smaller than the other people.
Wow, that's casting prejudice associations.
No, it isn't.
Small people, small house.
Nope. Small people, large house. Breaking the mold.
She's rich, bitch. She profits off of other people's losses.
She's carteling drugs through her scarecrows.
Go about
People
searching.
like their clothing in Waterdeep.
Go about searching through the house, and I continue just like expositing on occasion and just saying things like, you know, it's really only a matter of time before
And you open
this
up the
all.
door to her bedroom and you see a triangular diagram with carrots.
Carrots! God damn it!
She's doing carrot magic here.
She's in cahoots with the rabbit farmer.
With candles.
Humanity.
With candles placed.
Really, only a matter of time until this all
her
backfires.
And just in the bedroom.
You really didn't
not
even
hiding.
Nobody goes in there.
This doesn't surprise me in the slightest at this point. But I still think the scarecrow thing is really just a whole cover for her drug operation.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter.
You have set like 60% of her scarecrows on fire.
Okay,
They're just
wow.
burning in the sun.
That's good. I continue my
Rampage.
Yep. Most of the sheep are gone now too.
Fuck off! You know, I don't give a fuck!
Yeah, not particularly sympathetic at this point.
Scarecrows, sheep.
Okay,
Sheep can be hers.
Let's take an overview look here real quick.
Yes.
So, this halfling,
Yes.
let's say it's true that she hasn't lost anyone, she's not looking for some dark power to resurrect her long dead cousin or stepson.
Right.
Right? So, why, and even if she was, right? Why are they sicking these scarecrow on other folks' livestock? Right?
Right.
What purpose would the sheep farmer have for weeding out some of the
Why
competition?
has all of the associated farmers been livestock farmers?
True. Well, and only livestock have been attacked, right? So
I mean, people I guess don't really complain that much about
Okay,
their
no, no,
corn
no.
being killed in the middle of the night.
We got a pig farmer.
Uh-huh.
We got a sheep farmer.
Yeah.
And we got a cow farmer.
Yeah.
Right?
And
they're-
chicken farm.
And a
And
chicken farmer who's
who
innocent.
knew too much, and that's why his chickens got killed.
Uh-huh.
But everyone else, they're having their livestock killed to lower the supply of livestock, thus increasing supply versus demand costs, raising the cost of livestock in the area. And when they raise the cost of livestock in the area, who benefits? The people who didn't have their livestock attacked by scarecrows in the night, because they were the ones sicking scarecrows on people.
Uh-huh.
Or someone loses their significant other, dark power shows up and is like, hey, I can bring them back. It just costs them blood. Blood price. And they're like, it doesn't have to be like a human or anything, it just be animal sacrifice. They're like, well, I'm not gonna sacrifice any of my animals. We'll just sneak over to the neighboring farm and kill their animals. And then that happens a few times, and then shit gets a little wiry, shit gets out of control, and eventually maybe they're not that into it, they stop feeding it. So that dark power is like, but hey, you could have equal power though. All it costs is a blood price. And then it's doing that, hopping farm to farm.
I don't know. It seems too shallow. It seems too low scale.
Or it's a coven! Or hats!
No, the coven was in the orphanage that is now the Trollskull Manor.
Anyway, so yeah.
He made
What else do
woman
we find
hangers.
other than candles arranged in a?
Is there any
Triangle.
creature standing in here ready to attack me?
Nope.
Okay, I go to destroy the candle triangle with my best guidance and power. Kick over some candles.
You possess that power. I don't know if it's your best power, but it's the one for the moment. You disrupt the triangular pattern on the ground. Pretty easily, some might say. It's almost as if it was just a candle that you knocked
We
over.
might need Astra to Google search for magic thing.
We may need that, I believe. There's something a little bit different about this one than the last one.
I agree.
I walk out the front door.
The fields are on fire.
I'm
Astra! We need you inside real quick.
wait, I just have one more.
Alright, that's great. Good job.
Everything within exactly 120 feet of Astra that resembles a scarecrow is on fire. Slash
Okay.
resembled a scarecrow.
Are there
Most of them
any
have burnt
more
up by now.
in vision?
No.
I'm looking for anything that remotely. Okay.
Yep.
If I am absolutely confident, sure, I'll walk inside.
So we found candles, we found a triangle.
Candles.
Get in here with your special eyes.
Candles.
Specialized.
If I have to recast detect magic, I don't know how long it took me to
You guys have been at this for a little bit now.
detect magic. Hi again. Hi. So, what kind of magic am I going to find? Like incantation.
I ain't really wise in this.
Divination.
Types of magic.
But who are you working with?
Necromancy.
Not working with anyone. Why would you suggest that?
I mean, you would get off easier if you would just tell us who you're working with. Pretty sure that's a...
It's true.
You let me go.
Presumably.
I could help you get your
You
sheep
won't
back.
report me. I've done nothing wrong.
Right.
Especially if you
whoever-
haven't done anything wrong.
It's whoever was, messing with all the scarecrow stuff. Doing it wrong.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
She
So,
looked like she was about to say something, but quickly changed her expression to one of tight-lipped and
everyone
nah.
has had reason to do what they're doing. Like, good reason.
Wrong and right in the eyes of the laws of Waterdeep.
I don't know what that means.
I think what that means is
That means
we
you should tell us.
we are
Because we know what that
hypothetically the lesser of two evils. If we were to call your good friend Clout, no, he would have some other words. Your good friend, the name of your boyfriend, Magus Tully. He may have a firmer hand than we
Oh,
would.
Tully, he's the best.
That he is.
Name is Tuli.
Tully.
Tully, what? Oh,
His name is Tully. He's the flower farmer with the tulips.
tulips, yeah. The one we stole the bead from?
Anyway.
Bumps.
If we were to call him, then he may have a firmer hand, especially after having to walk all the way out here and all this heat.
I just don't come out here.
He would if I asked him to. He loves me. I mean, in the way that we both love magic.
It is uncanny how they get along.
But I don't know what he has to do with this currently.
One second.
So,
Nothing currently.
does my detect magic go off yet?
You hang out for the rest of the awkward 10 minutes of the prep of your ritual. And
As
then,
I'm doing it, I want to be inspecting her house.
okay.
Seeing any, like, photographs, amulets, trinkets, items, tools.
You see that she has some, like, cheaper in jewelry, like in one of her.
I want to detect magic. This is pretty. I want to.
Stay away from that, it's not
Detect
yours.
magic.
Thieves on top of whatever you call this.
It's a
I
compliment.
think we should
detect
not
magic.
stay away from anything she specifically calls out we need to stay away from.
I absolutely agree.
I put it on the table in the middle of the room. If there's a table in the middle of the room.
Ew.
If there is not a table in the middle of the room, I conjure a table in the middle of the room.
I need that level of magic. Like, I need to be like, I need a table here. Put the thing on table.
So, your eyes are drawn to the candles in the triangular pattern, which have not been disrupted yet. Oh, yes, they have. You
Yes.
kicked over the candle.
Okay.
Is it cold yet?
I haven't rechecked.
It's not going to be cold.
I say, yours don't go cold? But all of mine have gone cold. So I've had 6, and, well, sort of. And they turn crackly, like cold, and then they just melt away.
How did you get them?
They were given to me.
By who?
Yeah,
Tell me,
by who?
who'd you get yours from?
I'm asking the questions here.
Oh, are
You want
we?
answers and answers?
Oh, are you? I don't think so.
You want
Listen.
answers? Humor me. I have nothing to gain by talking to you.
Same. But seriously, do you have one of those desks too? Oh, we were over at, what's his name?
Presumably Ruth. And Roscoe, because he said he was dead.
Did we ever say Roscoe was dead?
Yes.
I thought we told the last person that.
What's the one that has the drop down?
Roscoe.
Roscoe, he had his own den. He had his own study room. Do you have one? I don't have one yet, but it's being built. Sort of. I mean, mine's not as like dungy as his was, but it's gonna have plans.
Where do you live? Not front run.
Of course not.
Then why would you have anything to do with the scarecrows? Get those candles.
Why do you have so many questions for me? You can't even answer a single question for
Trying
them.
to determine if I know you or not.
You don't know me. From the Dale lands.
Okay. So you true. Roscoe?
I didn't take any candles. They were given to me.
Well, they melt when you take them away from their area of residence.
How do you know? Yours have been there the whole time. You said they don't get cold. You've taken them away? How'd you put it back? Does it just reform?
Some people take the words of others. Others.
You took someone's candles. Those don't belong to you.
Those are mine.
How
I
do
don't
you
take
know
them
that
from
they're
here,
yours?
so they don't
How do you
count.
know? They don't have your name on them. I could just take them.
Do what you want, lady.
I want you to tell me who you got yours from.
A supplier. I want my sheep back.
A supplier. I'll get you your sheep back if you tell me where I can get another set of candles.
I don't believe you, and he visits you, not the other way around.
Information?
He visits you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't heard any of this conversation between two heathens.
Oh.
So, where do
Puts
I
on
need to
priest
be?
outfit. I've heard nothing of this conversation between two heathens.
So, I'll help you get your sheep back. If you help me get a set of candles, do I need to set it up beforehand, before he...
He would be very upset with you. Destroyed his property. I don't think he will give you candles. Probably fight you.
Then we would be overpowered by such a strong and powerful.
No, he's actually quite frail, but that's just something.
Percy,
He seems like an idiot then, right?
no.
Why would he fight us if we?
Those
Be
are all
frail
of
and
his-
powerful at the same time.
Well, that's what I was saying.
He needed a place to store his scarecrows. Why store them all here?
Don't ask me.
Why not ask you? It's your land with your sheep and your pasture.
Doing a favor.
Ugh.
You should do me a favor and get my sheep back.
I'll do you a favor and just...
You didn't set any of them on fire, did you?
Your sheep? Not
Yeah.
yet. I will if you don't tell me what I want to know.
Wouldn't.
I would by the gods.
My sheep are not by the gods. Oh,
I
shit.
say it with full intimidation.
Okay,
I'll
give me
burn your
intimidation.
entire farm
She's pretty
down.
serious. She doesn't
Seen her-
threaten animals.
seen her do worse.
Every single time you add another sentence, you escalate. I'm gonna burn your sheep and your entire farm down was the last thing you said.
Ask me what, yeah. It was in my hand. I got excited.
Where's my
Ask
dice?
me what I got.
What did you roll?
An 18! Yeah! I really did, though.
Okay. And with modifiers?
Wait, I didn't add. Yes, I did. Because I rolled 16. Yeah. So that would make it 17. Sorry, I thought I had +2.
None of those numbers equated to 18.
I rolled a 16,
Uh-huh.
and I got a +1 intimidation.
Nice. Okay.
17.
Consider her effectively intimidated. Now, yeah, he comes by whenever he has. Like, he's storing them here for the day. He'll be back tonight. He's moves with the scarecrows and all. Yeah, at midnight. Is that too much?
What does he
Wow.
want? Why is he doing this?
I don't trust him.
Leave.
Can I keep the candle?
My candle.
Alright, fine. I'll let you talk shop or whatever. I head out the front door.
Good cop, bad cop. Routine. Good cop, confused. Bad cop.
Good cop. Well, no, it's like bad cop. Well, no, bad cop. Not a cop, just a criminal.
Sometimes I am bad cop, but not bad cop.
Yeah.
Speaking of criminals, you go out in the pasture. He's got a small brush fire going.
Yeah, I tried to fix some of that.
There are some water cows nearby, and that is more than enough to start effectively putting out the dry brush fire.
Cool. I will make sure that the entire field doesn't burn down.
Okay.
And I'll
I'm scared of you.
You should be.
I am. That's what I just said.
Why is he doing what he's doing?
He has his own motives. We can just borrow some of them sometimes to get what we want done.
What do you want done that you can't handle yourself?
And the killing of livestock, for one matter.
Why do you have to kill somebody else's livestock?
Turns out if there's less livestock in the area, horsemen.
Supply and demand!
And even better, cow farmer who provides milk suddenly needed for beef. Not normally sold for premium rates. Beef farmer who sells fleece, not lamb, not cheap mutton. Suddenly having to provide food, premium prices.
It was the supply and demand the whole time, right?
God damn.
I do not know what you speak.
Simple economics, dear.
Halflings.
I do not know this French word you speak.
It is a common word.
Economics.
All I know is eco is a part of that word, and this does not fit the eco.
It fits into the ecosystem very well.
Why not slaughter your own flock if you need to?
I don't need to.
You want to.
No, I will do it if the price is right. Sometimes having a really large price helps.
What does he pay you with?
We pay him.
I don't understand.
I love the idea of just like being frustratingly ignorant of what this person's trying to say, and then being so frustrated. No, let me explain it to you. You don't understand.
Stupid girl, you do it like this.
And like this. Come on, why don't you understand my entire evil plan?
Of course I'm not going to explain my evil plan to you. Ooh, what's that giant thing do? Is that going to pull the moon into the earth? No, stupid girl, it's going to fire a laser into the core.
Sharks with laser beams.
But good farmers, good sheep, good cows. I don't understand. Why isn't it all balanced?
What do you mean?
If you were a good sheep farmer, sheep herder, whatever you call yourself.
Shepherd.
Yeah, if you were, you wouldn't need outside help.
I do, only because the outside help let my sheep go.
Why does he come here at night?
They are active at night.
So he has to come here to activate them? I don't understand.
No, he keeps them, he moves them around. Sometimes he can't get to where he wants to go. There was an attack last night. Presumably you thought he needed a place to make his next move.
Going to be your farm next.
Yeah.
Well,
You can set me down, I'm not going to run.
you're right, you're not going to run. Takes out rope. Starts to tie
This
it.
is unnecessary!
It's about as necessary as this. Starts kicking over candles and fucking with the salt.
The tar?
Yeah, all of it.
Yo. Okay.
I expect them to be good at escape artisting.
Racist.
What?
A little racist.
What's around here that I might use to better ease my fears?
I don't know. It is a general hovel of more than slightly mediocre class for a farmhouse. You can see several gildings on things. He lives extravagant for a farmer. There's no like getaway car or anything, so you're quite sure that you will catch
All
her
of her
no matter what
getaway
she does.
cars ran off.
It's true, they are about the right size.
Except for that one, just standing on his two hind legs, just
Pulls back its wolf to the big beefy arms. I'm looking at you, bud.
I need to
What
know.
is this, Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Why do you think you're any different from the rest?
I pay him.
Yeah, I assume that Roscoe paid him as well. Roscoe lost his wife.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's messing with stuff he shouldn't have agreed to. That's his own dealing, not my dealing.
When we finish tying him up, I'm gonna kind of leave him, when we finish tying her up, I'm gonna leave her to ask.
Okay.
Looking for a secret
Who's the other
basement.
lost her?
Investigation check.
Cork was the.
What about Cork, who lost her
dragon.
husband?
What? Cork's husband died like 20 years ago.
You don't think there's nothing that he'll strip from you?
What's he gonna take? My sheep?
Well, luckily, they're not in
My
the way.
livelihood that's running across the woodlands right now?
Oh, you know how to herd sheep. Stop being overdramatic.
You don't know how to herd sheep. Treat it with a bit of serious.
You don't know me! She says.
Where I came
I
from.
know enough to know that you don't know how to herd sheep.
Get here.
You got them in a pasture to begin with. You can do it again.
One at a time, through
Well-
careful orchestration, not losing.
That's
the
because you
dozens
need
of
to
them
get
at
better
once.
at it.
It was. You
Sheep
set the
herding
land
is
on fire.
growing. Where are your dogs?
I was about to say, meanwhile, those dogs are out there busting their asses doing the most
You hear
thankless
them
work.
barking in the distance.
What do you think you have smart sheepdogs for? You're probably not even a good dog owner.
It says something.
Yeah, well, your hair is unkept. Looks like you slept in a barn last night.
I did. The cows were wonderful.
What a shame.
You're a shame.
No, I'm a shepherd.
No, you're a poor excuse for a shepherd, and you're a poor excuse for someone who does witchcraft.
I don't do witchcraft.
What do you think that this is?
An interrogation.
I'm gesturing to the.
That is a ruined incantation circle. I cannot talk to him until I set it up again.
Don't look at me, I'm outside.
Yep.
Percy.
I'm doing this stupid thing.
Okay. Your investigation roll was.
13.
You don't find anything other than that circle. You do find a few other candles in like one of her drawers. They're
No,
not exactly hidden.
Did you hear that? I say in your mind, did you hear that?
Hear many things.
Did
what,
you hear that?
What in particular are you asking about?
I'm speaking in both your minds, splitting the sentence.
No.
Did you hear that? Did
you
you
hear that?
hear that?
Hear that was?
If we set up the candles, we could talk to the entity. We could talk to the entity.
I'm gonna go with this one's on Percy. He's the one who said strictly no voodoo magic.
God damn it.
If we're breaking the no voodoo magic rule, it's gotta be the one who set up the rule in the first place.
If you talk to him, you're just gonna spook him off. You gotta wait until he shows up at some point. Presumably, I assume tonight, because I wasn't in the room when she said that. I don't think.
Yes, I could do
We could
this.
just wait until the night, and then.
What if I go talk to the dogs? What if I go talk to
Did
the
it make
sheep?
it seem like he was saying that the guy won't show up at all if Circle's not there, or just that?
Just the speaking portion.
I want to speak to the animals to see if we can ambush him
Which
on the sheep and the dogs. I'm gonna go. Yep, that's presumably where the dogs are as well.
Yeah.
We've got until the dead of night. Right now it's midday.
I guess I'll hang out with stuff.
Have Percy hang out with them while you do the investigation thing and try and find a hidden desk.
I already did. There wasn't one.
Anybody good at survival?
Yeah.
We can go track him down real quick, speak to him, see if we can figure out where he comes from. Is there a specific spot he comes out of the ground? Is there a specific woods that he walks from? What?
She doesn't make any remark.
Oh,
You're
okay.
speaking telepathy. Gina's kind of getting weirded out by the fact that you guys are like staring at each other and like having a mental conversation.
Went from yelling at her to just deadpan silence.
Actually, she's just like scowling at you pretty heavily.
I say to her in her head, what?
Strange. I want my sheep back!
I mean, I'm not opposed to going and getting at least one of the animals, but can't you just get the information out of the talking person there in front of you
It's a
instead?
dumber animal right in front of us.
We've tried speaking with animals within.
That's racist.
Stop it.
No, I agree.
I hopefully have detected magic around her house at that point. Is there anything?
Oh, just
I'm personally partial to just waiting it out.
Yep.
I think that if one of us runs off into the woods, we might run into trouble that we're not necessarily looking for.
Ambush.
Where does he come from? Where does he go? Where does he come from? Canado.
Very relevant to this particular situation.
it comes from the road.
I come from the water on a horse by foot.
Yeah. He's a bit eccentric. Comes in carried by his.
Magic's gonna grow red.
From what direction?
Road.
He doesn't just appear on the road, does he?
Road ended.
Yeah, the road.
I am pro chilling out
Cool.
and setting up dark ambush. We gotta make
Chilling
sure
out, setting up
short stuff
ambush
doesn't
slash
yell out.
halfling sacrifice.
I
Scarecrow
searched
god.
the barn
what?
area. I searched the farm as a whole for anything that
You find a hole in the fence where the sheep have trampled it.
it's
Dig a
fine.
20-foot deep hole in the ground, right? And we put her at the bottom of the hole, but gagged and bound. And then we put a rock over the top of it, and so that she can't call out. Well,
Are you sure the scarecrow thing is really symbolic? It's kind of beautiful.
we're not killing her and stringing her up on a scarecrow.
You said kill her. I didn't say that.
Listen, I'm trying to figure out how to quiet her. She won't shut up, so.
It's fine not talking. You seem persistent on me talking.
I want to
That's
find
not how this situation went
anything-
at all, in the slightest. Not even a little bit.
I want to find anything that can be
Tell you what.
used as kamikaze, like
the
light.
whole time
on-
myself. Let me go get my sheep back. I'll be good. I promise.
Yes, because we're going to trust you, of all people in this scenario.
This is legitimately my livelihood. If I lose my livelihood, that sucks.
Uh-huh.
Casting ritual magic in order to kill other people's animals also sucks.
I didn't do that.
Oh, so what do
It's
the
still
candles
midday.
mean?
What if we just, turned her into,
We're pretty far out. I do not trust Ruth at all in the slightest.
That's fair.
Because when we talked about getting candles, she was like, you must have gotten them from Ruth.
Yeah. Then why are all his chickens dead?
I don't know, we fucked up.
He sacrificed his chickens to gain immortality.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I might have misspoke too. It wasn't Ruth. You must have gotten them from
Roscoe. Yeah.
Roscoe, okay. I was a little bit concerned.
I think you said Ruth or Roscoe, and you must have been correcting yourself and not adding on to.
Well, good. I'm glad that Reese not the fourth man.
I still don't trust him.
I've collected a tithe from everyone in the village to help investigate me, and then I kill all my precious chickens.
Nothing makes you more suspicious than being the biggest victim involved.
That's Scooby-Doo logic for you right there.
I mean, the tithe would pay for more chickens.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know how to keep a halfling quiet.
That must be good.
I don't know how to keep a halfling quiet. Lots of opinions.
I don't know.
So reasonably, what time is it, at dusk or at the dead of night, that he shows up? I'm trying to figure out if I have enough time to go collect some of your money.
I just want my sheep around dusk.
Equivalent to money with people
I
like
like
you.
my sheep.
I don't believe you.
I've been on this land for 13 years. Plan on staying here.
I've been on it for 13 minutes and I already love your sheep more than you.
That's not true. I'm the only one here who seemed to want to go get them back.
See, if you loved him, you would have said back.
You're the only one telling me bad. How bad of you?
I'm not in the room. I'm outside, putting out fires.
Fires are out.
I'm having a chortle.
Adamantly not in the room.
So reasonably, how much time do I have to go?
Hours.
Well, fortunately, we have hours between now and dusk.
I'll stay here. You guys go. Stay in contact with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is probably something that Rin would be more interested in doing than Collins. Oh, sure.
We do.
Okay.
I do. He do.
Give me a survival check.
Are we both giving you a survival check? Do you want to tell us a health action involved? How do you...
Help action works.
I rolled a 19.
With advantage?
With advantage? Rolled a 21. Because I'm like, meh, motherfucker.
Deducing by the large grass that has been pushed over, you see that they have traveled pretty unilaterally to
This way.
one direction. You see a few offshoots and you see some smaller little directions, as you would indicate shepherd dogs, pulling them back.
Southwest.
It is about 10 minutes away, but you have seen that. You don't know how many sheep there were, but there are a lot of sheep here and they've been corralled by the dogs.
Awesome. I dual mind speak to the dog. Or not dual mind. Can whatever. Can help them.
Use your words.
What's the word?
You use your words to
Telepathically
speak with the
dog.
I use my kinetic powers
I am like, dog.
to lift
here.
the dog into the air.
What is the name of that ability?
I'll
I
give
think
it to
you
you.
can't do that.
Yeah, you
one.
can't do that with animals.
Yeah.
To be able to understand the language.
Don't dogs?
I think that we
It's
went
like very
with.
loose definition one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's very specifically.
I'm going to choose that it doesn't override all of the magical abilities and such that gives you the ability to speak with creatures. Like
Okay.
animals.
I mean, it overrides all the abilities and allows you to speak to things that don't know your language, like speak another language.
This is true.
Stuff. But yeah, I mean,
But
you,
yeah.
you do you. That's totally fair. I think that's a perfectly reasonable interpretation of how that works. Either way.
I think the concept of it having to, it has to understand a language, which means that like it has to be capable of like language.
Figured it out. Cast comprehend language on it first.
Yes.
So it's Mind Link by Kalishtar.
Kalishtar.
So you can speak telepathically to any creature you see within 60 feet of you. You don't need to share language with the creature for it to understand your telepathic method of.
This was specifically about beasts that don't naturally speak any language.
Cool. So if the dogs don't speak it, I will.
animal handling dogs.
Animal handling.
Yeah, I'm fucking great at that. I'm 22 at that.
You're
I don't know about you.
uncannily good at this. Like
I am fucking Little Bo Peep, alright?
Maybe some person would have guessed that you heard her issuing commands to her dogs earlier, but you didn't. But you found out what it was pretty quickly.
Little
and
Bo Sheep.
They're just like, oh, that's returned. And they start going after the sheep and pushing them back towards the farm.
I told you, bitch, I'm a better sheep herder than you are. You didn't believe me, ho.
I think between the two of us, we've rolled like 7 or 8, 18 to 20 range on dice rolls, and then Ryan's like, I got a 5, guys.
No, the
I'm
beginning.
gonna let you know, we've had 3 combats. I've gotten crit in 2, and in the other one I got thrown into a sewer water.
This is very typical, honestly. Like, nothing has changed from normal
The
D&D.
beginning, the first like 3 checks tonight, I rolled like a 4.
The very first dice that I rolled for the day was a 20.
But I was picking from my own dice, and then the last couple I've rolled Prometheus's dice. So
Ah.
I'm telling
Hacker.
you.
He's gonna be super unlucky in the upcoming fight
No,
against the evil
no,
dark
no,
bad
no.
guy.
He's sexy. He's good.
Okay. Cool. Prowl the sheep, bring them back. Stake an ambush.
Steak from the cows and a bush from the pasture.
Uh-huh. I don't know where we get the ham from. Oh, it's ham. Ham from the pigs. Steak and hambush.
Steak and hambush.
Okay, brought your sheep back. Doesn't take you long. In about half an hour.
I close up the gate. Slash hole in the fence.
Do you have mending as a can?
I did not. I took it for a brief moment in my mind, and then decided against it.
Fair enough. Hands are good at mending too. I am good with my hands.
We
Use
grew
my
up. We
hands.
grew up in Featherdale, like on farms.
Yeah,
I've done a lot of work with my hands since then too.
When they get back, I'm sitting like
Thoroughly
I found like a one of the chairs in the room. I'm doing the like toss cards in a hat thing, and I'm saying the equivalent of like bookkeeping, but in Infernal. I'm just like, yeah, and then we spent another 80 gold on getting fancier.
10 minutes into the ordeal, she's just like looking at you, looks back, and just scoffs and rolls her head. Do you smoke?
Yeah.
Can we have a smoke? I have back, and she points towards one of the kitchen cabinets. The pipe's on the counter. I got an extra one in the drawer. It's good stuff. I need.
I don't think I trust yours. You can have one of these though. And I mage hand a cigar out of my shirt pocket. It's like put it in her mouth and then press the digitation. It lit. And I just keep playing.
That is a good trick. Not necessarily my flavor, but it's good. Thank you. Thank you much.
It's cheap as hell.
It's a Swisher Sweet. Yes.
She's just leaning back and just gets the wall every now and then, but is a lot less restless.
Halfling.
It's just
My flavor so much, but it's good.
It's just literally that fucking. It's the scene from Pinocchio where they smoke the cigars and they're just like.
All right.
I come in sweating.
ah, you look like you've done that a lot.
I go to get the cigar out of her mouth.
No. No.
And I put it out in the line of the ritual circle. Just
I feel like you think you're doing something cool. All you've done is just be aggravated.
You should let the halfling have her.
It's my only vice.
No, it isn't.
Well, okay, these bindings are also technically a temporary vice.
I'm sure you feel good about killing other people's animals.
I don't
too.
kill other people's animals.
Astra.
Yeah,
Kind to others when you can.
I am.
It's needlessly hard.
Do what the horned one says.
I'm preventing her from dying quicker.
No, you are not.
I'm not above this.
She just rolls on her side and starts rolling over towards
Dedication.
Indeed. And she's just reaching out with her mouth trying to get it.
I do one of these. Like, I could light that for you.
What's the plan now? Stake out here?
Stake out here, set an ambush.
Make it worth the day. Or on the road.
There's not a lot of areas to hide, really.
Any tree or bush cover along the way?
There were some trees on the road right before you came in. It was like a
There was
small
that one
thicket.
spot that we were like,
Close enough to the house that we'd still be able to see.
But we could.
I mean, it's a couple hundred feet to the house.
We could
But you,
pretend
I mean,
we're scarecrow.
Just to, like, in case he goes a different way and like shows up at the house and does business leaves or something.
yeah,
Like that.
probably.
Okay.
We could pretend that we are scarecrow.
But then again, probably not if it's like too late. Right? It's not time to go to the But he's in
That one.
not
Awesome.
beyond 60 feet.
yeah.
I could put a pumpkin on my head.
Something tells me the master of scarecrows might see through that route.
So most
It's an
people.
idea.
I think that if we can stake out in the tree cover, I fear that if he gets up to the house, he'll know what's up, and there's not really going to be much of an ambush at that point.
What if we quote unquote split up?
How so?
One or two of you in the house and one on the road in the trees, just to get some advance warning.
We'd have to have the sneakiest one of us in the trees, undetected.
Or the one of us who's best equipped to send a signal.
I think shouting
Is it your
is
telepathic
probably
link, like
enough
only
of a
60 feet or 30 feet,
signal.
something like that?
I'm not thinking necessarily like there he is walking down the road. We gotta like send an alert signal, as much as I am thinking of like, hey, if he starts getting second thoughts before he gets into the front door, then at least we have like someone, noticing as much, and like
Yeah.
could call out to have people leave the house. Because 100 feet like away from the house is actually not that far.
200 feet.
Even 200 feet away from the house is not necessarily that far. Like I can shoot much farther than that if I could see that far, obviously.
Yeah, that seems totally fine by me.
We want to stay within 60.
We could do the light on a stone trick.
I don't have.
Nobody reminded me to take light when we long rest.
No, you said you're gonna.
You did say that you were gonna, and you did not.
Someone has dancing lights.
I do.
It's the like the movie scene where like the bad guy's like walking down the road and then the floodlights turn on. Like
I don't have dancing lights. I have fairy fire, which is.
Oh, you have
different.
fairy fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said you had dancing lights.
I have fairy fire.
We'll get there.
I'm not a wizard. Isn't that a wizard spell?
It's a spell.
It's just a spell.
It's a spelly spell.
It's a spelly spell that spells spelly.
Yeah.
I did not know how to spell spelly. I'm sorry.
So I mean, I would be fine with you hanging out like in some tree cover while we wait inside the house.
Do we have any oil?
So if I were to hide out in the street, right, near the side of the road,
Uh-huh.
someone walking down the road to the house,
Uh-huh.
like, obviously not going to be seeing a lot of detail, but is this something that, like, I would be able to see at all, or is like
What are you trying to say?
I just want to know that if I try and set up this plan and you're like, it's too dark out, you don't ever see anyone that walks down the road to the house.
Oh,
then I'm just
also
like,
fucking magical darkness is something that we need to prep for.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how we prep.
Unfortunately, we can't really prep for that, but
You know what I'm saying? Like,
If it's dusk, you would be able to see them.
say it's midnight.
If there's enough moon glow, probably, maybe you would probably hear them.
So we know what time of year it is. We know we were
But
walking.
you don't have dark vision, so.
We were walking last night in the dead of night in moonlight, right? Would that moonlight be able to
Yeah,
be able
what's
to
the
see
weather
them?
situation like? What's it been in these previous nights? Like, would I reasonably think that I would be able to see someone walking down the road, even if I can't see anything about them?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be able to tell that there's somebody traveling if you're close enough to the road for sure.
right. If they're not
That's
like
what I'm looking for. I'm not expecting anyone other than this person.
Yeah, I'm
The
just trying to figure out how
dead
to answer your question.
Yeah, okay.
like if they're not sneaking, you'd at least be able to figure out a general idea of people being there.
Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm. That's what I assumed. I just didn't want to
Fair enough.
assume that before we did the thing and
Yeah.
then get surprised.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay, and
Do
then I
you
think
have
that's
a
something.
measure that you're planning on like alerting your party with, or
No,
is it just-
I'm not necessarily planning on alerting the party so much as unless something weird happens. Like if he gets 50 feet away from the house, and then all of a sudden it's like something's wrong, and then like books it, I'm just gonna yell.
Mhm.
But like if this is more for that scenario rather than it's like
Sure.
I'm gonna engage him prior.
It's
to
not to prep us to not get ambushed. It's to make sure that he doesn't book it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
the
you guys could probably just be staring from the window too, and just like occasionally checking the door to see if there's somebody approaching.
Yeah. And so then once the combat ensues, whatever torchlight people are gonna have is probably what shooting at him.
Yee.
Well, who's hungry? I am.
I'm not.
Have onions, and leeks, and beets, and
We have not
ham
decided
from
how
pork.
to keep it quiet.
That's fair.
Look, I'll
Turns
make you
slowly
dinner.
to ash.
Have any magical means of keeping someone quiet, such as like a sleep spell or something.
I pretty ineffectively put a mage hand over your mouth and no.
Alright, I was shut up. And I make myself a dinner.
I go rifle through your
She's in charge.
kitchen.
You see various assorted food items.
Start to make dinner.
Nice.
Angrily.
Oh.
Probably a better chef than you two.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't claim to be a great chef. I don't think it's competition. I like food.
You know how to cook. No.
Read my backstory.
Oh right.
I don't remember the cooking scene from your backstory. Oh no.
Tragically horrible, I think, was the approximate phrasing.
It's in the backstory, I promise.
Do you burn down the house?
I don't. I just, there's,
I'm like the type to burn down the house.
I'm very experimental cook. I don't burn anything down. Vanilla goes with beef just fine.
I'm understandably not.
I attempt to stomach anything that Astra cooks.
I'm typically not big on eating alone.
Yeah, I agree
That's
with
fair.
that. Normally I make good beer.
I mean, there's two types of cops on a stakeout. There's the one that brings the extra snacks, and then there's the one that's like, no, I gotta stay sharp.
The one that pulls out the giant full-on sub and starts eating it during the stakeout and is like, hey, you want any?
And then an hour later gets like the plug-in grill and sets it up on the dashboard.
It's me.
Okay.
I don't try to show them hungry, but I'm very hungry. I'm just like, I'm not gonna show any signs of weakness, even if it's hunger, to this being.
Okay.
I probably will make beets and leeks and radishes and stuff that is intentionally good for you. Carrots, if there are any carrots, and like, no, carrots are good for your eyesight. Your third eye in particular.
I sure hope not. I have a hard enough time.
I tend to feed.
You could just undo my hands.
Or I could just not. Here.
Hey, come on! Nice.
I'm being nice. You're being fed.
Have it.
You are eating. You can't be trusted until you give us a reason to trust you. You said you don't want to talk, you don't want to tell us
I
anything.
told you literally everything I know.
You're not helping us.
I'm sorry, I was assaulted by 3 strangers who let go of my livelihood, and it took hours before they would decide to go get them back.
And I got it back, and you've still yet to open up or trust us.
What are you talking about? I've literally told you everything I know. You know the visitor is coming tonight at dusk, usually on scarecrows.
You are hiding something, I know it.
We've burned down everything that could be hidden. I'll just wait until you leave, and then I will leave. Visiting you one time, or are you going to leave me here?
As she says, starve to. Oh. I worked really hard on it.
It's a shame you half-assed it. You couldn't let me eat it and enjoy it.
Is the beef tragically overcooked?
There's no beef.
Oh,
it's
there's
just
no beef?
vegetables.
It's just vegetables? Are they like mush?
Turnips and beets.
Are they like way too raw or like mush? Did you cook them over?
Almost like too oily. Like,
That doesn't sound tragic enough.
It's both. They're overcooked on the outside but completely raw on the inside.
Oh no, and covered in like copious amounts of oil. Okay, thank you.
And
You
the-
satisfied my need for your bad cooking.
and the seasoning doesn't seep into it's just like on the outside.
Oh God, hell! That one hurt so much. Anyway,
You want to try some?
yes.
Is Percy immune to the effects of bad food, or particularly nice to Ash?
Just being nice to Ash.
Poor child.
Do you know how many treats I brought him when he was a child?
I feel like in that situation,
Honeysuckle.
Percy's gotta like have turned into like a good cook. It's like, I know.
I mean, you know, Astra, I don't know if I would say that you've improved, but this is significantly better than your baking.
Yeah, I think so. You know what's even better? Herbs I make.
I'm very sure.
They're very good.
I can't wait to try your help.
I'm
All
trying.
right.
Long-term goals. Hashtag goals.
Steakhouse.
Steak out.
Steak.
Full stealth check?
Just for
Spend the time that we have available to prep myself in the most preppy of the days.
with advantage.
And I will
Cover myself
ritually
in
cast
mud and leaves, and
detect.
all I roll is criticals.
Oh Jesus!
I got a 20 and a 10 on my.
You are full leafy boy.
All right.
I ritually cast detect magic.
I'm so stealthy, I don't even see myself. Nor anyone else, because I'm underground.
It's just the fucking scene from To Kill a Mockingbird, where the kid like paints himself into a rock and it just like opens one eye.
I'm just imagining those comedy movies where they're just like fully covered in body paint and brush.
Literally that.
It's sort of like am in the house, just like. And so it's sort of like recasting with my time. Are you still doing this?
So you're not gonna try and hide?
Yeah, I will. That's why I'm whispering in the corner.
That's not how that works. You can't really ritually cast something quietly.
You can't?
No. It's part of casting the magic is speaking out a loud, audible tone. It's part of the core rules of D&D, so you can't stealth cast stuff.
Unless that's something I can get later on.
There's a sorcerer special thing that lets you get that.
That's something I can get later on.
If you want that, you gotta be a sorcerer.
No! Maybe.
next level.
Well, no, I don't know. Okay, cool. So I don't do that. Fuck that.
Okay. You guys just pass time?
Yeah, basically just passing time. We're chilling out in the house.
Relaxing, all cool, shooting some people outside of the
Dusk comes, dusk progresses, dusk starts to near the end, and you hear
sleigh bells ring.
you don't hear sleigh bells. Oh, no. You hear the soft traveling sounds of a man on the road. He is shrouded in a cloak hood. And he has a sort of retinue of scarecrow with him.
What card is that?
The hooded one.
I can't see that from there. Okay, the hooded one.
Yeah.
The hooded one. Perfect.
Look at it.
You always magically pull the right card for the right situation like that. It's crazy how that works. It's magic.
His retinue are just two scarecrow.
Okay.
You can hear slight scratching as their posts drag along the ground.
Are
Wait
they
for them to
carrying?
approach the house.
They're not carrying him. He carries on past you. You get this is like just with how straight his posture is, like he's like a sense of superiority. And as he gets up to the road, he starts looking at the field, noticing the lack of scarecrows presumably, and he extends a hand, and one of the scarecrows goes off towards the field.
Either that, it's either a sense of superiority, or he's actually a scarecrow, so his spine is straight because of the stick. Alright? Yeah. Okay. So he sends off one of the scarecrows to investigate. Wait. Action. These two are the action issues.
Okay.
I don't know what your triggering action is, but
It depends on when or if we spy him on his way in.
Okay. Near the edge of the clearing, he points to the ground, and the other scarecrow goes and stands there, and then just kind of like poses, and you just see like a supernatural. It just becomes unnaturally still. If you didn't just see it moving, you would think it was a normal scarecrow. And it continues, or the man continues walking down the path.
okay.
I would have, when it becomes like in half range,
Like 100 feet away?
no, like 15 feet away from the door or so, would probably summon wildfire on him.
Okay, before he gets to that point, he calls out and says, Crook, put on some food. I'm famished tonight. I could use a fire. It's going to be a cold night. There's much work to do.
Look,
Technically didn't ask the name of the sheep herder, but I imagine that the sheep herder's name is Crook. Because
how are we keeping her quiet?
Oh, I asked that question to be all quiet.
Fudge.
What's the K?
Just CRO, okay.
I didn't have any intention of gagging. If you did, I left that to you.
No. I will. Yeah.
You don't gag her?
No, I say preemptively beforehand, I'm going in your brains. I'm like, hey, I'm going to within 15 range, summon Prometheus, and then, we'll go from there. We're not gonna let him get the drop on us. But
This one probably would have been discussed before.
yes,
That pretty
but
much.
hopefully.
You can't talk to me.
Yeah. And then also have the conversation with you of like, if you tip us off, your entire livelihood will be gone.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to dispose of them. I'm on your side, and how about my good faith and actions during the encounter shows that you can trust me?
Exactly. There you go. Good faith.
All I ask is for my pipe. I want to keep up appearances. That's the same.
The cigar will do.
It's cheap.
Yeah, but I know the power of herbs. I won't let you use whatever you have.
You look very affronted by this. I like a good tobacco.
I just
It makes
want to
me-
mellow out, man.
As you wish. I don't understand why you need to treat your prisoners with such disdain.
How are you supposed to treat prisoners? I'm not used to keeping them, but I imagine it's something worse than this.
Well, you see, in the Scandinavian countries, they treat them quite nicely.
I see. Well, we're in Waterdeep, and usually they just kill them. This is what I've noticed so far. Is most bad people just get killed. Anyway.
So, no intention of gagging the captive.
Gag me with my tobacco pipe.
Here is the cigar that we promised. Will you like
Well, at least
that?
you're not gonna take this one.
I just take the one that's off the ground and put it. And
I clean
You
it
got
and
this sweet today. Oh, thank you.
A little spider goes crawling. It's like, no!
The spider is clean. It just looked at its legs.
look at me! Look
I
at
took
those
a
men.
Doesn't believe
Screw talking to the sheep and pigs. Be like, spiders, what did you see go on in this house?
Fuck yeah! Also, fuck no.
You get the image of hundreds of eyes across the 12 spiders.
yeah, getting images from spiders I don't think is gonna work out super.
No, spiders only speak. You're going the wrong way in the intelligence. The farther in the intelligence you go, the more just visual pictures they give you. The lower down it's like, man, all I do is speak like this. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, so about 30, 40 feet away, he calls up, Crook, put me on something nice. Start a fire. It's going to be cold. I have a lot of work to do tonight. By the way, what happened to your feet? And he gets 15 feet away.
When he says start a fire, I light one of my torches inside so that it looks like there's a fire starting.
He gets 15 feet away, triggering your plan.
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 Over initiative.
Prometheus.
Roll initiative.
Initiative! Bum, 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 music.
Okay, I've hit rock bottom. I can only go up from here.
Okay, just look
Start
at what I
at the bottom
rolled.
now, yeah.
Half.
Hey, my
This is not a high five, sir.
I
I'm sorry.
got a 7.
Hey, high five. Behold. I rolled, and also Prometheus rolled
You
He was on your turn.
21.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Roll together.
I have a 3.
Okay, I think I got the top and the
That
bottom.
is 3 more than 0, sir.
He has a +2.
I have a +2. Yes.
Hey, at least you're not Rook or Zack, where you
Or like
probably
any
have a
BP
0.
character.
I
Yeah.
can go negative. Let's see.
Where's my phone?
La 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 la. Oh, we have 15 minutes.
We have 15 minutes?
We have 15 minutes.
We start the next session with a combat encounter.
Let's start with Prometheus, and then we'll probably go from there.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Prometheus, upon summoning, deals 2d10 damage to anything within 10 feet of it. They have to make a what kind of saving throw?
We will see.
Yes.
Okay. Each creature within 10 feet of the spirit, when it appears, must succeed on a dex saving throw against your spell save DC, or take 2d10 fire damage.
Okay, roll damage.
2d10. Come here, boy. 8 plus 3.
Prometheus is summoned on top of the mage, I presume? Yes. The mage immediately crumbles, and Prometheus walks out like, what's going on? And that's it.
And that's
that'll be the session.
End the session.
Yeah.
Surprise! He knew something was up and set up a decoy. The real him was that other scarecrow he made.
It's
stop
really just
moving.
Or you just
Mirage?
murked the nerd.
Oh, he was actually incredibly flammable. Just
Find out next time.
Oh my gosh, on Dragon Ball Waterdeep.
Dragon Ball Water.
Y'all have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. This was Odin Gaming D&D Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
Whoop whoop.
See
All
ya.
the words.